about Spidey?
Hell yeah, I want to talk about Spidey.
Oh my god. Okay.
One undertaking.
So
I have a lot of
when did I beat it? I think I technically beat it 1 or 2 days. So here's the thing. I got the game technically late because I was waiting for it to be a birthday gift. So it dropped the day before my birthday. I got it the Monday after my birthday. I beat it, I think, 2 days ago. That game has crack in it.
It does though. It does.
Like
You be on there all day.
I damn near was. I beat it. Was like, okay, cool. Now I can go back and finally finish Baldur's Gate. I went back downstairs, did some more work for the day, got off, started watching Sex Education. I'm like, man, kind of want to go up and play more Spider-Man. I've beaten it. Like, and not regular beaten. Like, I'm 7 trophies away from the from like the platinum, I think. Maybe technically 6. But like I did all the side missions during the game. The only other things I had to do was level up my skills, my gear, and get all the spider bots. Everything else was done by the time I beat the game. I was at level 60 at the end.
So wait, did you do the flame and do the Mysterio before you did the final battle?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get to do those till after, but I was like, it makes less sense if you finish it after. But I'm sure where you did it was like, yeah, this is okay. This is interesting. He has the symbiote before all the symbiotes were destroyed. That makes sense. But then I was like, how did this get it? Like, didn't we do that? Didn't we kill them all? How does this nigga have one? But I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah, a lot of good in this game. A lot of I
love it.
I liked it, but I didn't. I think I still like the first game more, but I still really enjoyed this game.
I love the game. I think it refines a lot of things from the first game. I have like my minor nitpicks, but it's more so it's not any of it is really with plot matters. It's more so just like design decisions and things
Some of
like
mine
that.
is plot. I have some plot stuff.
I mean, we'll definitely talk about plot. So it's like full spoilers for the plot of Spidey 2, the game. Trying to think where to begin. Here's where we start. Why the fuck did Sandman throw Miles like that at the beginning?
Disrespectfully.
That was offensive. It's like, all right, bro, you don't be doing Peter like that. I ain't never seen you do that shit to him ever. What the hell was that? He threw him through a building, he threw him through 3 burrows.
Right. He had to slingshot his way all the way back to the fight. I'm like, damn, that's just disrespectful. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's like, all right now. It's like, all right now, bitch.
All right, chill.
You gotta be doing
chill all that. Okay, we'll start at the beginning though. How the fuck did Peter's spider sense not go off when Miles caught it? Miles caught what was going on with Sandman, but Peter was in the classroom like, I'm trying to work. You gonna make me lose my job. I'm like, Nick, you don't see this man is trying to tell
you don't see that sandstorm?
You see that
2 blocks over?
Right. Like, how does that? You've been doing this for 10 years. How do you not know when danger? If your Spider-Man protege is telling you there's danger outside, you need to listen to that boy. What do you do?
He just started ignoring that shit. He's like, it's whatever. If I die, I die.
Right. You need to pay this rent. I'm like, shit, bro. You need to save the city.
He's like, shit. My Spidey sense go off when I see this mortgage payment.
Right.
Think I'm worried about some sand? Fuck no.
Fuck all that. You got
$4,000 mortgage? What the fuck is going? That's a 2-story house.
Damn.
Jesus Christ.
Why she do Peter like that? How's she gonna die and leave that man all that debt?
Right.
How you gonna do that to him?
It's like, and to my nephew, I leave my house and $4,500 a month. Good luck, bitch. Like
crazy.
On a photographer's salary in New York, in Queens, get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out. Death sentence.
The whole fuck out. That's not even lights and electricity. That's just the mortgage. I'm like, Pete, no wonder she died. Her money management was fucking awful.
Man. Well, okay, let's
$4,500 for what? That bitch should be paid off if that's the mortgage rate.
You would think, right? I will say
no way that shit was over $100,000.
Right.
When they bought it.
Ridiculous. Inflation is crazy.
Yeah.
I liked. Here's the thing. I liked the presence of Craven. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker feels Craven as hell. But I felt like, as far as like an actual
Everyone was dope.
villain goes, I feel like they could have done more to. I don't know if humanize him is exactly what I needed, but just like there was no they like touched on the bits of it, like the fact that he like was all about the hunt and the whole side story with his kids and Chameleon was crazy. Like, damn, his kids killed him. I
Yeah.
was like,
That
yeah,
shit.
that shit was crazy. But I feel like if we would have saw some of that more, or saw like, because most of the time we spend with the Craven aspect of things is through his goons, and I would have liked to spend more time with Craven proper. Also, I would have liked to have a stronger connection between the fact that Craven has cancer and Harry has cancer, but those two facts never like come to.
I I wasn't expecting, yeah, a connection between the fact that they both were dying of illness. Because I them combining Craven's Last Hunt and the Black Suit Saga, I think is low key kind of genius. But then how it spun out, I thought was I liked it. You know, Venom basically literally killing off Craven and taking over from there. I think that was a really cool moment. I am surprised that they didn't do Craven beats Peter and takes the black suit.
I was
That they
surprised. Yeah,
didn't
I was
go that route.
surprised that Craven never got to wear the black suit, because like he's like the
Yeah,
strong apex predator. I feel like the symbiote will probably be so drawn to somebody who is like does have strength or does have that thing corruptible about them. But I also didn't get
but,
why.
but
So it seemed like they're going the ultimate route at first, with it being like scientifically made, but then they switched it to the actual.
they fused them. They fused them together, which was really
Yeah, and then I
interesting.
was like, okay, we had the spiral symbol. Like, oh, at first I was like, are they gonna bring Nolan into shit?
Yeah,
Like they teased it.
that's what I'm wondering, because I'm like they put all of his mythologies into it. Like there's people they were doing some research into making the story for this one, because it wasn't just the symbol. He had the
Yeah,
wings. The wings is very explicitly from, as someone that's read the Kate's run starts to finish, that's explicitly from Null and the Kate's run, where Venom has wings and the spiral symbol on the symbiote
yeah.
heads.
No, I thought that was cool. The whole finale was cool,
Um
even though nigga that shit was Web of Shadows point two. You
yes it was. Yes it was. It absolutely was. I'm like, these niggas just made Web of Shadows again. That it's pulling for, I think that they paid a lot of attention to where their critiques were coming from. And one of the biggest ones where people were saying it's like Spider-Man PS4 is a fantastic game, but it's always going to have competition with Spider-Man 2 and Web of Shadows in terms of like swinging, traversal, and
Here's the
action.
thing though.
And even with the enemies, you got a little bit more of that Web of Shadows combat. It wasn't fighting on buildings, but there was more aerial combat
I
than I
still
think in the
think
first game.
Web of Shadows might have the best fighting in a Spider-Man game, and I feel like
That's because you can fight on buildings,
you
nigga.
fight, but also
You can
that
fight
shit was that
sideways.
shit was hard as fuck in that game. Do you remember the fact that you could ragdoll enemies, you could surf on these niggas, you could put
Yes,
it was crazy. You had like you had
they're
chains for arms. Like, bro, what? They probably
they're
touch
this
that.
close to doing it. They're this close to doing it. I see the groundwork being laid there with how they did the symbiote combat. I think, and I
You
think
know
it's the
that
same thing
one
with
move
like
where
the
he
the
can like
traversal.
make it travel on the ground and hit him from across the street? Like, dude,
I think what it is
crazy.
Insomniac has to sacrifice uh a little bit of substance and variety for it being clean, like stylistically.
Maybe.
Um
I felt like there was a lot
I
of
think it
moves. It's interesting. I felt like if we're just talking about the skill tree itself, I thought it was interesting that it felt like because there was large portions of the game where you didn't have the symbiote suit, and it felt like Peter's skill
yeah,
tree was a
yeah.
lot easier to fill up than Miles was, because it was like because he had to split his skill tree in half rather than
You
being
think
an
so?
entire
I
other
well,
skill.
maybe it's because of how I went about it, but I filled up Miles' skill tree first.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to keep it
So
balanced. So I
I
was trying to. I'm like, okay, I'm put a little bit over here, a
yeah,
little bit over here, a little bit over here, and then just kind of like
yeah,
pick and choose.
no, I was doing the same thing because like honestly, the one I filled up the slowest was the combo skill tree, like the one for both of them, because that one probably had the
No, that one had good
what
shit though.
annoyed me
That one had some
though.
good shit in it. Also, the fact.
The thing that
What were you saying?
uh huh, what were you
I was
saying?
gonna say the part where that fucked me up or that got me good was the fact that once you can start filling up your focus meter with finishers and with webbing, I'm like, oh, nigga, it's a wrap. Because I think that was, I don't remember if that was in the combo
Yeah,
or if that was in the shared skill tree, but like, oh, that just changed the game for me. Because I'm like, this, you filling up your meter and you're filling up your specials. I just kept doing Miles's like explosion bomb when it came to like protecting the
yeah,
or detonating the pods, which is a straight up Web of Shadows
mhm.
thing, by the way. The fact, because even though they didn't look like rosebuds, they look like jackfruit in this game.
Oh yeah.
But I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, that's how that is a Web of Shadows thing. Well, I mean, that's how I golded those couple Mysterio missions where it's like, beat 6 enemies with finishers. I would fill up the meter. I would beat up enough enemies to fill up like my 3 bars with Miles, use 3 finishers, explode, and then use 3 more because it instantly lights it back up, and I just get them all on gold. That was one of the easier ones next to just like defeat 20 enemies in an amount of time. Like, well, if I've unlocked all of Miles' shit, it's not that bad. There are a couple that like got my ass though, and those are the ones of like don't get hit. I'm like, well, fuck, it's gonna be tough.
yeah. Sorry. No, I was I definitely did get my ass whooped from time to time, more than time to
This
time.
game was harder than the first one and than Miles Morales was for me. I've heard people say they felt like it was easier. I'm like, this shit was way hard, nigga. Scream was whooping my ass.
Oh, scream! I died a lot during that scream fight. And the fact that it was like 6 rounds.
That yeah, that fight had like 4 phases in it.
Yeah, 4 rounds.
I was like, God damn, Mary Jane.
That
What?
was the
Oh
longest
yeah,
fight in the game. I remember
yeah.
the
The
best
shit
fight.
was it Mary walk him down, Jane Watson,
Right,
Mary Jane walk him down. Fucking walk him down. Watson
walking
was
down.
whooping my ass. Walk him down. Watson was dropping bodies left and
Oh
right.
my god, bro! I was. It's funny because
Like
at first
she was dropping me.
I was trying to go about it as stealthily at first, and there's a point where I was like, "Fuck this!" and I was just like running up on niggas and just tasing them in the neck. I'm like, I will get every last motherfucker.
That's what I was doing. I'm just like, fuck stealth. Pop, pop, pop. I can take 2 shots. Pow, pow, pow. Just going in that bitch like Uncharted.
Right, like Uncharted, like Last of Us. I'm like, oh yeah, give me
Right.
this shit.
What was that? What was that TikTok I sent you? It was like married, fucking walk him down, Wallace throwing up, just like, uh, um, 4 niggas try to roll up on me. Bam! Now it's just 3. Bam, bam, bam. Now it's just 2. Bam! Now it's just me. Yeah, fucking walk him down. Watson was dry. Bitch, we should have had you in the final fight.
Right, she kind of was a little bit. What? Why
Right.
they put her up against that big motherfucker at the end though? I'm just like, hey,
I
no
was so
fucking
pissed
way.
because it's like this big hefty bag sized bitch has been fucking me up as Peter and Miles. What the fuck is walk him down Watson gonna do?
Why did that shit?
And the thing is, I took him out quicker and walk him down than I did with Peter.
Right, right.
Peter got all the Venom symbiote and every gadget that money can afford. He's been slinging sewer grates at people across like counties. Meanwhile, walking down Watson just says, bam, bam, bam. It dies immediately. She like, yep. Click. It's like one sound drum, other sound drum. Pop him in the top of his dome. He melts immediately. I'm like, Peter over here, like, the fuck am I doing wrong?
Right, Peter, why aren't you using this sonic gun? What the fuck?
Right.
Another
He
one.
had to have the little sonic implant thing, and all it does is disorient him. Meanwhile, here comes walk him down with the stun pistol. Just yeah, I got this. Click, 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 click. Pop, 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 pop.
It really was Papa motherfucker.
Fucking Smith and Watson over here. God
Yeah,
damn.
I thoroughly enjoyed those parts of the game. I know there's people that still complain.
I low-key did too. I never hated Mary Jane's missions
Me
or the
neither.
puzzles. I like her missions and the puzzles better in the second game. I
Okay,
thought the puzzles were cute. They made me think.
there's only one puzzle in the game where I cheated, and that was the last one that at the Harry Foundation. Like when you're in the garage, I'm like, what the
Oh
fuck?
yeah. The final one.
Yeah,
It took that one definitely took me the longest because I had to keep shifting them around. I knew where things were supposed to go, but that one took me the longest. I was like, fuck. I actually got to use a couple brain cells for this one, y'all. Okay.
I'll give it a
All
chance.
of that shit to get the I know why. I respect the fact that they put the life story suit in there. I don't care about it.
You're never
I
gonna.
like life story as a story. It's a very good comic book, though. All of those life stories need to be 12 issues, not 6. That's a separate conversation.
Oh, I've never read that one before.
Life story is pretty good.
And that's the suit from that
Uh,
game, from that story.
yeah.
Oh,
The Fantastic Four life story, I think I like a little bit better than Spider-Man. Spider-Man life story has like the basis of a I think it's great in theory because it's like Spider-Man if he started in the 60s and lived in real time. That's the whole premise of the life story books. Same for the Fantastic Four one. Um, it's a great premise. The problem is it does a decade in issue,
oh,
and comic book floppies are not that long. So you do like it'll pick like a year of the events and do that in like 40 pages. That is not long enough.
right.
If you gave it 2 issues, it'd be perfect.
Damn.
So it'll be like 1965, 1973, 1984,
So
1999, 2001, like shit like
So
that.
how old is he supposed to be in that suit? Because I have to imagine he starts with his traditional suit in that storyline.
It is from so that life story suit and Miles' life story suit, which he does have some cool suits in that run.
Oh,
They do like
Miles is
all
a
the
life story.
sagas and shit in real
Miles is a
time.
life story too.
He was in the last issue.
Of
So they do. Do you want a mild or a spoiler for the end of life story?
sure.
Um, in the final issue, which is the 2010s, I believe, they combined Superior with Miles.
What?
Yeah.
What is this?
So Doc Ock hops into Miles' body to try to get to Peter when Peter's in space, I think trying to get rid of the symbiote.
Oh, shit.
Like once and for all or something.
Oh, damn. So Peter has to be like in 60s or
Yeah.
70s in that point. At that point.
He's in like his 70s and 80s.
Oh, damn! But he's still doing Spider-Man shit.
Uh I think he was a couple decades retired at that
Oh,
point. He puts it on one more time to go handle this situation.
okay. I'm like, damn. Like you still limber like that?
So it's like it's as much as he can be. I mean, by the time you hit the 90s, he's like, "Fuck, I am too old for this shit."
I'm gonna look this.
But yeah, they do basically all the major plot beats. They do Clone Saga in there. Um that was actually pretty intense. Um what else did they do? I'm trying to remember Life Story. I haven't read it in a long time. It's a solid book. It's a very strong like it has a really good idea there. They do Civil War. I do
Oh,
remember that. Like their own version of Civil War. So like the major plot lines that have happened to Spidey throughout his history, those are the periods where they do his story. So you have like the original uh college years with like Harry's drug addiction and shit. Um you have Clone Saga, you have like Superior and Miles kind of fused together. You have Peter and his kids, so you have MC2 in there alluded to with his daughter.
Hmm.
So it's a worthwhile read and it's a breeze because it's only like 6 issues. Fantastic Four was fascinating though,
Okay, interesting.
where Reed basically is like this predictor of Galactus, but like he's anxious about it for 50 years.
What? Oh, damn.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're good reads if you have some time. But yeah, so that's where life story suit come from? What else do we what else do we have to say about the story?
Oh, the
Um
fact that we got to play as Venom, I was like, oh,
Oh my god! Oh, it was so fun! Holy fuck! When it's just like, use square to attack, I'm like, "No. Ain't no fucking way, boy." I started tearing shit up, I'm like, "Oh my," and then you get to fight Kraven as Venom.
yeah, that shit was fun.
That was some nasty work I
Mm,
was putting in on
mm,
that bitch.
oh my god,
I
utterly disrespectful.
Fighting Kraven, it what helped too is fighting Kraven as Peter, uh, and fighting him as Venom, I felt a chasm of difference of power.
Oh yeah, way more powerful.
Like,
Light work.
I was getting cooked a little bit, even though I had Black Suit Pete going in. You know, I was having a little bit of a time. But it also says a lot about Miles versus Peter's power. Because when I was Miles fighting Pete, I'm like, yeah, I'm about to whoop this nigga's ass. Pop, 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 mink, 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 mink. Like fighting Peter with Miles was easier than fighting Craven with Peter.
Yeah.
And then Venom was the easiest of those three. Like Mr. Negative was giving me more work than Peter was. And don't get me wrong, Peter was strong. Actually, and I have a video of it, I think, recorded thanks to the magic of the PS5. Peter clipped into a tree at one point during my fight.
Oh wow.
So he was stuck, like swinging around randomly. So I'm like, where the fuck did I look up? He's over here. I had some weird glitches throughout the
Oh,
game.
same.
I had a really nasty one where I clipped and fell through the world as Miles, and like
Same.
a
Same.
building disappeared.
It had, mine happened at a hunter
Oh
base,
no!
and I went on top of the base. I went on top of the base and I saw the clouds and shit in the sky, and I saw shit glowing in the distance. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I don't know where I am. So then I start to fly off of the base. I was like, okay, I can glide, I can fly. This is cool. But then it got to the point where I was like way below the base. I was like, oh shit. And then it was like automatically killed me and I was just falling into oblivion.
Yep.
I was like, I don't know what I got a video of it. I was like, I don't know what the fuck that was.
Yeah, I had some.
Also, a couple points where like I went to what the place before the hunter base. What's it called? The binds, and
Mm,
like I whooped. I light work, easy nasty work, and I whooped all. And then they said there's still one more enemy. I'm like, where the fuck is this thing at? And I could hear him. And then I turned my sense on. This motherfucker was inside the building. And I was
oh
like,
no!
wait.
I think one of the worst ones I had was I was in the middle of a fight. I was taking on a bunch of hunters, and then all of a sudden, I couldn't hit one of them anymore, but he could hit me.
What?
He was putting the work on me. I kept trying to swing. It looks like I'm swinging at a fucking ghost. So he was literally untouchable, but he could sure hit the fuck out of me. I'm like,
I
and I think it was like a plot related fight. I'm like, fuck.
bro. Okay, I also had a weird ass glitch where so you know when you get to Yuri, or when you get to Yuri and she's like in the room, and then like uh Cletus is on the screen,
Yeah,
right? And he's like, talking to her. And then
yeah,
I think there's another scene where Yuri is with Cletus and Peter stops him and he saves him, and then Cletus has like the bomb go off.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
both of those scenes, Cletus wasn't visible. Cletus was a
Oh,
ghost. I didn't know what this nigga
I
looked like till the very end.
I had
I
one
was
where
filming nothing, and I was shooting at nothing. It was during the cutscene. I'm like, how is a whole man gone out of a cutscene? That's crazy.
I had one where I was going to change my suits. So I changed Miles and that was fine. And they always do the previews for the suits. I went to change Peter's and it said that the input went through, but all I saw next to Miles was a white cube.
Did you ever use the white cube? Did you ever click it and try to play as it?
No, it's like when I took it out,
You can play as the cube.
you can play the cube.
You go in the city and you're swinging as the cube.
I think I just restarted it. I took a picture of it. I'm like,
No,
the fuck are you standing next to this cube? The fuck happened? This
that happened a
game,
few
it's
times.
not a buggy mess, but when it glitches, who boy does it fucking glitch?
Oh yeah, I was flying as the cube. I used the web glide as the cube. But here's the thing, though: the cube is like way down here, but the
Yeah.
wings are like way up here. So it looks like it's like 10 feet tall, but the two aren't touching each other.
Yep.
So it's just random wings with a cube, but this invisible string that's guiding it. crazy. It was
Um,
wild. Yeah, that game's fun. I miss
Miles,
it.
I think Miles was very much carrying. He was doing a lot of work in this game. Like he was low key, a little bit more of the main character than Pete was. I'm glad they gave him a lot of that attention. Don't get me wrong, Pete.
Oh no, I disagree. I think he was the main character. I feel like Peter was more the main character. I feel like they gave Miles a lot of the side shit. Other than the
I
fact that he had the
I
part
think
loot.
Miles did a lot of the heavy lifting, saving his ass in a lot of arenas.
Oh, I don't disagree with that, but yeah, they brought him in when he needed the support. I feel like most of his story got relocated to either him doing college applications or him having a vendetta against Lee.
I
His other stuff was like very side. He had more side missions than Peter.
Yeah, I guess in terms of like narrative progression, while Pete was, that's not to say that Pete wasn't an active player. He clearly was. I think Miles was like Miles had a super important role in the game,
Yeah,
more than I kind of expected. I think I was expecting him to be more sidekicky. He had his own shit going on, but when like his shit intersected with Pete's shit, like he was the only one that could really kind of progress it. Like that, like when Pete was all fucked from the symbiote, the only person that could stop him feasibly was Miles.
yeah, they made him a necessity in the story, which I thought was cool. I've
Yes,
never seen Peter have to go through the Venom saga while Miles is there, which I thought was a very cool way how they did that. Very effective.
I'm like, God, this is so fucking genius to have Miles be in the Black Suit Saga. I'm like, don't get me wrong, the original comic book Black Suit Saga is like it's great and a lot of its adaptations hold up, but to properly see how Black Suit Pete interacts with people, but then seeing him interact with his mentee, I think is something we haven't seen it like this before.
Yeah. Also, Pete is
Like
out
they
bitter in this game too. When he got that black suit on,
mm.
this nigga was shallow as fuck. He was
The
just
shit he was saying to the lizard, that's
oh
why your family left you. It's like, God damn, bro, relax.
right. And then the same guy had him on some petty shit, and he's like we don't need another Spider Man. We're the best Spider Man. He can't even save himself. I'm like Peter, nigga,
St-
relax.
Meanwhile, the minute he goes to the hunter base, Spider Man, where's Spider Man? Where is he? Spider Man! And I'm like, I think he's gonna kill whoever has taken Spider Man.
Right. He's got an excuse.
He's about to peel the meat off of Craven's bones.
Also, that the savageness when he gets back when Peter gets back after his nightmare nap, and then Harry's like, okay, get the suit back. He's like, nigga, you crazy.
He's like, whoa, hold
Well,
on.
hold on there, partner.
Harry tries to reach out.
What the fuck you
Little,
doing?
little quick there. Try to touch me with them broke nigga hands. Hold up. Him like putting his mask on, like, keep it over there, sicky. I don't want none of that shit.
Well, none of that work. I think that
Yeah, Harry's over here like, Pete, can I get the suit back, buddy? No. What the?
he's like, yeah.
Ah, no slick ass. Oh, whoa. Oh, when Agent Venom showed up,
That was it.
oh, I started screaming.
That was
That was crazy. That was dope. Damn, that fight was long. They kept fucking
oh
coming.
my god, just whooping the
They were coming out the ass cracks, the trenches, the vents, the ceiling, the wires.
outlet.
Even Pete and Harry. Pete was like, "Oh boy, they keep coming." I'm like, "Yeah, bro. Why did it keep? We've been doing this for 6 fucking
How many
rounds
niggas did this man bring to New York?
to hunt like 6
Right,
people."
a whole army. Good god.
That Black Cat chase was amazing. Black Cat looks amazing
She was
this
great.
game.
But
Like,
what was
here's the
the
thing.
point of the story?
Black Cat looked fine as hell before, but I didn't like her costume design. I like her costume in this game a lot more. Who is her girlfriend?
Right. She wasn't even. She really wasn't even in the story like that. I feel like you could cut Black Cat's story out of the game entirely. You miss nothing.
You could, but
It's
it's
fun.
like it was
It's fun to
cool.
see them interact. But I was just like, one, who's her girlfriend? Two, we just
Yeah,
gonna
because
tease Doctor Strange and we just gonna forget about it like that. We just gonna,
yeah, I don't think Miles has had any interactions with
that was
Felicia.
the first time. Yeah.
as far as I can remember, I'm pretty sure I've read all his books. Um, I
Sure.
don't think they've ever really interacted with each other. So it was interesting seeing the two of them. And it's seeing her in the game, I'm like, oh, the power of the PS5 got me about to act up.
Right. I'd be feeling
I'm
here.
like, yep, she's still fine as fuck for a series of digital painted lines.
More fine than MJ. She always been more
Yeah.
fine than MJ.
It's looking at MJ and looking at Felicia, I'm like, Pete, you know what? MJ is right for you because they definitely got MJ looking normal,
You think they ever
and Pete looks like the first
you
white
think they
man.
ever smashed and she was like, no, keep the mask on.
Felicia or MJ?
Felicia.
Felicia, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. He tried to lift that up to kiss. Is like, I like the mystery. Let's not ruin
No,
the
just
magic.
enough to kiss him, but then pull that shit back down.
Yeah, he'd be all excited. He's like, yeah, yeah. He tried to take the mask. It's like, let's not ruin the moment. Let's, oh, oh, Pete very much gives me the vibes of a cuddly post sex lover. It's like, oh man, that sure was great, Black Cat. So what are you up to tomorrow? Huh? What? We?
What do you mean
Hmm?
we? What do you
We?
mean tomorrow?
He over here stretched out, comfy as fuck after laying down some meme pipe. It's like, so what do we want to do after this? You know, we could maybe go to Joe's Pizza or something. Like, huh? We? But we?
I
Bitch,
got
you French?
you. You know, too comfortable.
Who the hell is we?
Right. Oh,
Window already. She got one leg out the window already. The shit posted up. Huh? What'd you say? Oh, I'll call you.
yeah, I'll have your people eat my people.
It's like, wait, but you're a thief.
Yeah, I will say I thought this game was interesting in the sense that it pulled from a lot of other influences. Like we already talked about Web of Shadows. The fact that Harry being
Yeah.
sick was pulled from Amazing Spider-Man 2, seemingly. And,
Yes, there are quite a few callbacks to Tassum too,
right.
which is interesting.
Also, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't really watch too much of that show, but I'm pretty sure Venom in that show was also Harry. Ultimate Spider-Man, I mean.
In Ultimate,
Ultimate Spider-Man,
yes, yeah, he was not in the Ultimate comics because that was Eddie.
yeah.
Still,
Yeah.
in the cartoon, it was Harry. I think that was the first time they did that. Well, yeah, and the funny thing is, it worked.
Yeah.
Like it really worked, in my opinion, because they really fleshed it out properly. Because they gave a couple of the characteristics of Eddie to Harry, in so much as like the personality shift.
Mhm. Yeah, I thought it worked really well. And
And
that dinner table scene was tense. Like when Harry Peter just show up and they just sit at the table and he's like,
mm,
just when didn't he say like sit, Peter, or like some shit like that? I don't know. I will say,
yeah, you can see the tendrils going over to
yeah, yeah, yeah,
MJ.
yeah. I will say this time round, it took me some getting used to. It took me some getting used to, but I think towards the end, I started to kind of get settled into Peter's face.
I'm not.
It depends on the suit. The
I'm not.
whole thing is still
It still bothers the dog shit out of me. I'm so and it's a shame too, because the animation on like the face models is
better.
very,
Yeah,
very good. Like how they move and are animated is great. Miles' face, I'm cool with. Harry's face,
perfect,
perfectly
perfect.
fine. MJ, hers took a little
Hers
getting
was
used to, but
different.
I
Yeah,
got
hers is
used to
different
it.
too, but got accustomed to it. Craven's was
Yeah,
great.
Felicia
Norman is great.
Cravens was great. Felicia looked good before. She looks
Right.
better somehow. Peters, I can't. I
It's just he looks. I think maybe he looks too
I don't
young. I don't know. Like I said, I just barely towards the end kind of started to accept it.
and that's okay. I'm not saying anyone I'm saying just for me personally, I think it's because he doesn't look lived. Like comparing I'm sorry, I got to compare it to the Bubniak face, the original face. that looked like a Peter that has been doing this for 10 years.
Yeah.
And also, I don't think his face matches his body, matches his voice. The
Yep.
voice and the body
Voice
match.
is not.
The face doesn't match the body and the voice. The body and the voice perfectly fine. But like when I would, when I wear the different suits and everything, um it'd be like, it was like when he was talking to Harry or something, and he had like the Venom suit and the thing peeled down, and I'm like, he has like this crazy, lean, low key jacked body, and then just like this puppy dog boy face, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you don't look like somebody that's been getting your ass whooped for 10 years. But what's weird is when they had the flashback to younger Pete, he looked great.
Right. I'm like,
So
I can't believe
I'm
the
like,
same
this
face.
ain't the same person.
It don't look like the same person. But I'm like,
No,
okay, does glasses and hair really do that much of a difference? I'm like, no, it can't
yeah,
be. That can't be the same face. There's no way.
and I know he got a
Also,
haircut between like Miles Morales and now, but every time I see the face, I'm like, and I see it most, I'm just like, it just doesn't work. And I think about the old face on it, and I'm like, it was perfect.
you know who else his
Um,
face didn't look right to me?
who's
J. Jameson's face. His face looked weird as fuck to me.
I think it's his nose.
I think it was his mouth for me, and he looked like a puffer fish
Mm,
or some shit. I don't know. It looked very weird to me. I don't know what it was. It
yeah,
looked like he
but
had that donut face in like the
um,
mustache little. I don't know. Hope someone's
yeah,
off.
I'm trying really hard to get used to it. I can't get used to it, man. It's been what 3 years at this point since the change, maybe four. I I I appreciate mods because I just I can't see it. I can't take. It's a shame because the performances in the game are phenomenal. I want Yuri and Najee to get nominated for something because they're blowing this shit out of the water in terms of like voice acting talent. And Tony Todd was great too as Venom. I wish he had a few more lines because he's a legendary actor, so he was a perfect pick for this. It was like easy pickings. I wish I could have heard more because he was great. Harry was really really good. MJ. I This is more of a minor characteristic nitpick in terms of how people have adapted MJ. Um, I don't mind them making her a journalist type. I think they do it because I don't think a lot of writers know how to write a to keep it frank, like a bad bitch celebrity. I don't think a lot of male writers know how to do it. Mary Jane had a solo run that was written by a woman writer that I really like. It's a very cozy read, and it's only
Hmm.
like 10 issues. I would recommend that. Also, the art, Carlos Gomez's art, boom, bro. Like that's how she's supposed to look. She's written like dynamic with character. I think one of the key reasons is like other than kind of trying to force her to have something to do, I don't think some of these writers know how to make a compelling woman whose like goals in life are more artistic in nature.
Hmm.
Cuz like you could easily do Mary Jane as I think it would be more fascinating to see Walk 'em Down Watson if she was like an IG model.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I
I
think that'd
like
be fascinating because it'd be such a large dichotomy. It's like, whoa, holy shit, she can really hold her own. Because it's like, I think what it is that she's not, you know, I don't think she
that.
has to be a high caliber journalist to be an equal to Peter.
Yeah. They make her Mary Lane in this movie or in the game.
Yeah, yeah. Where it's like, I don't think
Mary Jane
she doesn't
Lane.
have to have like a hard critical analysis job for her to be like compassionate or self-aware or likable. And I think she's, even down to the design, it's like she looks like a normal pretty woman, but it's like again, this is the most minorest of minor nitpicks. I think Mary Jane in the game is very, very good in the direction that they took her with. I think they did a great job. Let me preface that. They did a great job with the way they took her with. I think it is indicative of a more minor writing issue of because I think it was a lot of guys that worked on this game. I'm not sure how well they know how to write a complex female character who is like someone that can be like it's weird because they do it with Black Cat actually really well to an extent, who can be uh desirable without being objectified
Yeah. Speaking
and,
of writing
and
for
still
love
have character.
interests, though, I feel like they really could have done something more with Haley. Like she was just kind of there. She was just like
I still
a
like
love
Haley.
interest.
I think she's adorable, and I
She's
like her
cute.
relationship with
They don't do much
Miles.
with her, but she's cute. She's just kind of there. She ain't really like. I don't
Her-
think Miles, other than Miles's mom, his supporting characters, his supporting cast isn't very strong. He's very much a support to the Peter story. And like, when Peter started to get disrespectful with Rio, I'm like, watch yourself, watch yourself, Peter.
Watch it, bitch. That's a Latina woman you're talking to.
Right? That's that boy's mama. You better put some respect on her name.
Yeah, it's
But
like let's settle down.
right, I could have
Yeah,
used
we can
more.
talk about some of the side missions too. I liked Haley's side mission though. It was
It was
like
cute. I liked it.
it didn't really add anything to it, but I don't think all of them had to. I think it was more world building,
I
and I
enjoyed all
think that's kind of what it was trying to do is give her more to do where it's like the people in Miles' life have lives beyond Spider-Man and they're like you don't have to be a superhero to be a good person.
no, no, that was a good lesson. I think the thing I really enjoyed about this game was the fact that, in spite of the fact that Peter and Miles are both Spider Men, they're two very
Mhm.
different kinds of Spider Man. Like Miles is a Spider Man of
Yes.
like culture and community, and
Yeah.
Peter is like a Spider Man of like science and the drama of his life. I guess like
Yeah.
they're very two very
He's
different kind of lives.
I get more neighborhood vibes from Miles because we see him like in a broad sense, Pete is like a neighborhood Spider-Man, but for like all of New York.
Yes, Peter is New York's is the city Spider Man. Miles is the neighborhood Spider Man.
Yeah, he's Brooklyn for sure and Harlem for sure.
Right.
Like they see him and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's our Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That is our hero." Like even at Brooklyn Visions, they're like, "This is our school hero. This Spider-Man, not the other motherfucker in the suit, the black and red one,
Right.
not the red and blue one. He cool too, but this motherfucker right here, this is our Spider-Man. This is our hero. He keeps us safe."
Right. I like how the game also took inspiration from the movie with the Visions Academy bridge being the same as the one in the movie.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I thought that was cool. But yeah,
No,
I,
that
I,
was cool.
I definitely like the side
I like this. I like the side missions. I liked the. I was like half paying attention while doing the jazz ones, but at the end of it, seeing the museum was like really cool, and I think that could be a really dope way to go about art preservation. Like going forward is basically turning your art exhibits into like virtual galleries for people to see that may not have like I mean museums and art places should obviously be accessible to anybody, but for those that if they're bedridden or something like that and still want to experience an exhibit, I think this would be a really cool way to go about it because I felt like I was walking around and learning and getting in touch with the culture of Harlem and like its historical relationship to music and everything. And those fascinating beats that they were playing and having them dance to. But it's like I really liked where it ended. Um the Howard
I
mission.
was just gonna say. I was just gonna say
The
the
Howard
how.
mission. The minute my Spidey, my Pete, sat down with Howard, I'm like, Howard ain't gonna be here for too much longer, is he?
Mm,
But you kind of know. Uh but it actually got me a little choked up at the end too. I won't even lie. Um if you know the signs of somebody phasing between realms, I guess is a way to put it. The way he was talking was very familiar,
mm,
like with him just like kind of not directly answering Pete and very focused on what he sees.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, "Oh, yeah, those 3 pillars of light." I'm like, "He's seeing the upper room.
Mm.
These are," and I tried to hold out a little bit of hope, but it's just he like, the whole time Peach is like, "Hey, hey, Howard, what are you talking about, man?" "Oh, yeah, and I remember my wife and I is, like, reminiscing about the dead." It's one of the signs.
Mm.
And so it's like, it was unsettlingly realistic, but not dour, not dark.
So you think he was sick, or you think he killed himself?
No, he died of natural causes. Like,
Okay.
they say
Was he old? I don't remember. How old?
it could have been age, could have been like a undiagnosed sickness, because Howard was like housing displaced, wasn't he? He was homeless, wasn't
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He
he? Yeah,
was.
so he could have just had an illness and didn't know, because when was the last time he might have had a checkup? Make sure you get your physicals, people. But
Hmm.
because all he knew was just like wandering around and taking care of his birds, and flying with the pigeons was a weirdly, it was like a wholesome but kind of surreal experience for a game, especially with the
And then
music choice.
I was gonna say, yeah, they played the soundtrack with it too. I'm like, oh damn,
Yeah,
okay.
like when the music kicked in, I'm like, I don't think Howard's gonna be there when I get back. I'm getting emotional about it
Mm.
now, because like it's weird, because I didn't think much of Howard in the first 2 games. I'm like, oh yeah, let me help him, catch his pigeons and shit. Sure. And then
Oh,
I sat.
Miles did stuff with Howard too. I vaguely remember.
I think he talked to him. I'm not sure if he might have had a pigeon mission. I can't remember, but
But I remember in the first game for sure though.
I for sure remember catching them fucking pigeons in the first game.
Hmm.
Because that was a chore. But flying with the birds and finding a new home for them, and with that music playing and everything, I'm like, I don't know if Howard's gonna be there when I got back. And when I got back there, because I'm like, I play the games how I feel in the moment. So even if there's no timer, sometimes I might go back in a rush to kind of, a part of the role play
Make
aspect of
you
it.
exactly. You need to get back to the man.
Right.
They
And so
find
I
out.
get back, I'm like, okay, Howard, you just gotta stick around long enough for me to get back, buddy. And, Peter in the game is like, almost there, Howard. I'm almost there, buddy. On my way back to you. And then seeing the EMTs and shit, I'm like, I knew it. It was weird because it's an NPC in a game that I didn't think that much of, besides having to catch his pigeons, but they directed it in such a way and drew it out in such a way that it's like they're familiar feelings. And I think that's what it dredges up, if you know what it is. And it's still sad even if you don't know those feelings, because it's like, man, it was
Yeah.
him telling Howard, it's like, hey Howard, you can always count on me, buddy. And I'm like, fuck. And it's like those side missions that are like, that's what Spider-Man is. I love being a Spider-Man that can like go out,
Yeah.
fight the bad guys, fucking knock people into concrete walls, giving them concussions and spiking up their insurance premiums. Um, but like the Spider-Man that touches down and is high-fiving people, giving them finger guns, just like the grandfather mission. That was one I was worried was going to end up like the
Yeah.
Howard mission, where it's like he's
Oh, you did. You did. I did Grandpa
no,
first.
I
You
did
did Howard
Grandpa first. I
first.
did Howard last. Howard was one of the last missions I did. So I did do the Grandpa mission earlier.
Okay.
It's just like seeing like that pretty black girl with her granddad. Is just like, oh yeah, I just want to go back and remember, this is the place where my wife and I had our first date. It's like those moments, those stories like that. I think those are things that make Spider-Man a hero. Is like the little things that he does for people that stand out, that they're gonna remember him by. Where it's just like
Yeah.
it's just some dude that was around. It's like, I lost my grandpa. It's like, well, you want some help?
Yeah, and you don't associate that stuff with other superheroes either.
The only one I can really think of is maybe Superman. That's about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And,
But I
and
don't think
most
I
of
don't know.
most
Yeah, I
mediums
can't.
don't adapt that really well. I I think it's part of his character. I'm not sure
Right.
people do a good job portraying that, and it doesn't help that it's like he hasn't really had any good games. Spider-Man's had plenty of good games where you have side missions of like get a cat out of a tree, or catch these tokens or deliver this pizza.
The thing is, like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess some of them would be applicable, but I feel like something about Spider-Man still being like human. I guess I don't know because like, I'm trying to imagine like, okay, what would that Howard mission look like if a Superman
Right.
trying to guide some pigeons over to a house? I'm like, I feel like it wouldn't hit this
That's true.
because Superman would just be back in
Yeah,
2.5
versus, I mean,
seconds.
it might be the effort of it because you got to swing and glide. And even though, again, it's gliding, not flying.
Right,
So it's like he's.
exactly. Speaking of speaking of though, did you start using the gliding more? Because I remember when we first started talking, you're
I
like,
did.
okay, you got used to it.
When yeah, I got used to it, and now I'm a lot more adept at it. When I first started with it, I was like, "What in the fuck?" I'm cool with it. This mechanic looks cool, but controlling it was a little bit uh unusual and a little uncomfortable, so I didn't use it that much. But as I got used to it pretty fast, so I've come around okay.
Them tunnel missions trained you, didn't they?
So what?
I said them flying tunnel missions trained you,
A
didn't
little
they?
bit, yeah, yeah. Chasing them fucking birds around. It was like the last
That
one
fuck
was a pain in my ass.
that shit
I
was
think I had to
annoying.
redo it twice, and on one of them, I had just gotten 100 right before it got out of range. I'm like, God damn it! Um,
we got. I think we got to talk about the one of the last side missions you and I both did was the
oh
spider
my
bot
fucking
one,
god, the spider
where
bot.
a little portal opened up, and a PS2 character was on the other side.
So okay, do you know who that is? Apparently,
No, I looked it up. I was like, "Who the fuck is Delilah?" I don't know who the fuck. And
and
there's the same portal as the movie, and she was
yeah,
like, some mentioned Miguel. I'm like, okay, this is all in the same multiverse. And that.
apparently Delilah is a character from the Bar with No Name, which is the bar for supervillains. She's from a cut scene from Across the Spider Verse.
A scene they didn't even put in the movie.
Yeah, it's like a deleted scene. So that's what
So
she's
why would
from.
they put it?
So that's why the reference is so weird.
Is that deleted scene out for the public to see now?
I don't know. It was either cut or deleted, but I know that she was supposed to be in Across the Spider Verse because you can look it up. That's how I found out because I was watching PSM, probably Spider Man's video where he talked about the bots, and he mentioned like I was watching it today after I did the mission, and he's like, "Yeah, it's a he thought that for him that was the most lackluster one because you go around collecting 42 of these little things, which I agree that
Mm,
was really fucking excessive. To get a cutscene from a character cut from a movie that we've never seen.
yeah. I was just like, oh, okay, this is an interesting reference. I'm like, what does this mean for? Does this mean something for the movies? Are they gonna have Miguel come into the third Spider-Man game on a side mission? What the f- is all this about?
Yeah, yeah, because I guess that's another one we can talk about is Wraith and the Flame and that cult and them setting up fucking Cletus
Right.
Cassidy. Like the side missions in the game also set up a bunch of shit for uh oh yeah, I guess in the post credit scene, the final chapter,
Right.
which I'm okay with.
Good.
I am okay with us boom calling a stamp, capping it at 3. I'm okay
Now,
with
do you
that.
think we're gonna have another Miles game in between that? Because where we're leaving it off, Miles is the Spider-Man of New York, and I imagine in that third game, if we are gonna go there and do Green Goblin, that's when Peter comes back. So, do you feel like we're gonna get a Miles too, or do you think we're just gonna jump straight into Spider-Man 3?
I think we're gonna get Wolverine and then we're gonna get Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, yeah, that makes more sense. Because I'm like, they know where they're gonna make more games before they make us wait for the finale.
And I think Spider-Man 3 is gonna be a bit of a swap where like you were saying earlier, this focus was more on Peter with Miles as like a key and an important, but ultimately like he's the deuteragonist and Peter's the protagonist. I think they're going to swap that for 3, where the lead is going to be Miles and the deuteragonist is going to be Pete. But when it comes,
Maybe
and I think they might. Oh fuck,
because
um, they might
most of the
do
villains have a closer connection to Peter, though. So
they might do death.
they might do death. Really? What's his death?
Death of Peter, Death of
Oh,
Spider-Man.
oh.
Because remember, in Ultimate Comics, That's how Miles got started. Is he watched the death of Peter? They might that might be the transition. Is like that whole story might be because they've done Sinister Six, they've done last Craven's Last Hunt and Black Suit Saga. They might do Death of Spider-Man and Superior,
Hmm.
which you could make work as 2 and 1. You know, I know Ock is locked up, uh, but they might do it. I'm not saying it's impossible. It'd be curious to see how. Well, no, he was sick in the first game. That's the whole thing with the tentacles is like his degenerative condition. So
Or doesn't Otto have cancer or something like that?
I think it was like a degenerative illness. Um,
Oh,
Possibly
right,
it might be
right.
similar to Harry's or something like that. So if G serum is goblin formula, fucking goblin green, um,
Have retroviral hyperplasia.
I'm impressed you remember that shit. Yeah, they might do Death of Spider-Man and Superior. Uh where
Maybe.
maybe Pete dies and Otto basically is piloting a corpse. And we get another Miles versus Peter, but where
Mm,
Miles is the main Spider-Man.
I don't know if they'll kill Pete. I mean, maybe because here's the thing: my only problem with them killing Pete, right, is the fact that it might the execution might be different, but the result might be redundant. And the fact that you're going to send Miles off to be his own man, his own Spider-Man, 2 games in a row. Didn't we just do that in the last game? Like no 3 games in a row because the
Yeah.
first one, Miles Morales was about him becoming
Oh
Spider-Man.
yeah.
This one's about okay, you're now Spider-Man of the
Yeah, he
city.
showed up. I mean, it might be about how does Miles as the main Spider-Man deal with loss after losing his dad and also making peace with Lee. What happens if you lose your mentor?
They can run it that way. They can run it that way.
It well, and I guess Miles being the new friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. What does New York do when there's only one Spider-Man
I
and
feel
it's
like this is
not the one they started with?
I don't know. I
And
feel like this is like an
that's more
easy.
thematic.
It's been a nice transitional period because I feel like at the time of this game, it's been about a year. Because I just remember that. Because do you remember how long it was between Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales? Okay, yeah, it had to be 6 months
I think it was
because
6 months.
in the Flame side mission, he said Yuri disappeared a year and a half ago. So this takes place a year and a half after the first Spider-Man game.
Yeah. Minor side note: how the fuck does Yuri's mask stay on her face?
Right? What the fuck is that about? She don't got no backstrap or nothing. It's a magnet. So
No, she just poop.
she got that.
It's like, yeah, that works.
She got that
Um,
suction technology.
Not any like holographic. Okay, so actually, it might not be a like prop. Now that I think about it, it might not be like a death per se where he actually dies. It might be like death as in this is my last go round and then I'm
They just
retiring.
did that. It was literally the end of this game.
Did I think he's letting Miles take the lead. He's like, yeah, but I'ma still call you.
But then
Versus like Peter like, I'm moving the fuck out of New York. I'm being a dad. You have the sauce now, son. Don't call me for shit
I
unless
feel
you're
like it
in
feels similar
Connecticut.
to me. But I mean, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think that I like the idea of killing Spider-Man, not for maybe I feel like Miles not being the entire reason for it. I think I would like Peter to, if he were to go out, not just as a catalyst for Miles's growth, but on his own measure or the own conclusion of his arc. Because, like, yeah, I think it's very cool and very smart, finally, that the third villain is going to be the Green Goblin. And also, another side note,
Yep.
I like, I think it's funny how 2 games in the row we
Yeah.
have the final suit be the anti of whatever the villain is. Because the first one is the anti-ox suit. Then we
Boy,
get
so
the
we're gonna get an
anti-goblin suit.
anti-goblin suit next game. Oh shit. What the hell is that gonna look like? Is it gonna? We can talk about that now. Is it gonna be some ugly ass dog water like Miles' final suit?
Oh man.
All right, let's talk about the.
I was when that came on. I'm like, I had two thoughts. I was like, okay, one, that's a choice, and two, I was like, oh, Will's gonna hate the fuck out of this.
And you were absolutely right. The minute it put, I accidentally had it spoiled because of fucking TikTok. I'm like, you bitches can't wait 2 weeks. God damn.
That's why I had to rush it because I knew the motherfuckers were gonna spoil it
I
for
was
me.
trying to rush it. I was doing. I was out of town thugging with my rounds. It's like I was busy. You know,
Pretty whole breath.
it's like had a lot going on. But when that shit swung in the frame and Peter looked at him, it's like, what the fuck are you wearing? The
I also thought it was. I thought it was weird because Peter had the anti-ox suit, and then Miles had that suit. But even though we're in a game where you can change your suits, I'm like, these two niggas look like they're in two different animation styles. What is happening right now?
yeah, somehow
Because he had the big old '90s eyes. Then Miles had like the regular game eyes.
they somehow made a suit uglier than the 10th anniversary suit. I was impressed. I'm like, how the hell did you do that? This shit is ugly as fuck.
I was like, yeah. Now I'm like, you see, our boy Movie Miles wouldn't have done that shit.
No, he wouldn't have. Like,
Movie Miles would have done some fire shit.
where
He'll probably clown him. He'd probably clown the game Miles for wherever the fuck that dog water was.
where is this
With the
piece?
team locks popping out the top.
The evolve suit. Okay. God, where to start with this ugly piece of shit? It is so bad.
The
And the fact that you're forced into it at the end of the game pisses me off.
with the white shoes and
Them
the
ugly ass
the
shoes, these
blue,
Spider Gwen ass shoes, sponsored
the
by Adidas.
blue. What the fuck? What is that? Gel? We got gel moving through the suit, or those
I
lights with
guess
the blue that goes
like
from the chest down the arms.
like it's too busy. The colors are not balanced whatsoever. Um, he's just wearing tennis shoes. They're not built into the suit. That bothers me. So it's just like leggings going into some socks and shoes. Like he was
Okay.
in a rush. Uh, the
Also,
the
the
hair
hair.
popping out the top is bad. There's no webs on the mask. I
That
no longer really like webs with hoods because they're not practical, and that bothers me. So stop doing that. They do it for him and ever since Gwen did it, they're like, oh yeah, that's cool because he's like the hip hop Spider Man, so he'd wear a hood. No, it's dumb. Stop doing it. Actually, not even Gwen. It was fucking Ben Riley started this shit. And I don't like Ben Riley's suit either. So fucking Ben Riley in the goddamn 80s started this hoodie bullshit, and we haven't been able to get away from it since.
Also, Miles had some questionable fits during the game. I was just like, when he popped in that
Absolutely. Who dressed this nigga?
also
MF Doom?
that that white shirt and the green. I'm like, I guess that's just how niggas in New York dress. Like,
No, it's not. We've been to New York together. Don't do that. We have been there together. We saw not nary a Negra in sight that looked how that man did
why
throughout this entire game. Boy, what the fuck are you wearing? Again, the locks were on point. The rest was not. Look, bro, she's deaf, not blind. Like, she can see you looking crazy, just like she's over here like, that's it's a very bold choice that you have going on with your outfit there. Like you over here like, yeah, you know what it is, girl. It's your boy, Miles for Miles. It's like, no, sir. You're scaring the hose, brother.
Wait, did you say you like Miles's locks now?
I didn't hate him.
He got the. Whenever I see him, I think of that one TikTok video where he got the Timu locks. he paid for those.
Everyone else didn't. Everyone else didn't like the locks because they every time they see a black character in games, most of them have starter locks now. I'm like, that's because everybody since the pandemic has been getting locks. I'm sorry.
Did you see? Did you talk to his loctician in the game?
Wait, you can talk to his loctician in the game?
I talked to his loctician.
Well, What did they
He's
have to
like,
say?
"When you coming in for a retwist?" He's like, "I don't know, coming in a bit." Like,
He got some new growth and that's just nappy in the back.
right.
He's like,
That
no,
was
my Puerto
great.
Rican half will take care of it. No, the fuck it won't. If you don't go in and get it. Matter of fact, I need a fucking retwist. But
Shit, me too.
I'm trying to think
These
which
these front ones keep coming undone. It's fucking annoying.
right. I do like the upgraded suit. I like the family business suit. The classic suit is solid. Somehow the upgraded suit is better. It's because it's darker and brighter at the same time. Like the black is blacker than the gray.
Are you talking about the one he starts the game with?
Yeah, that's the upgraded suit.
Blacker, right? It's blacker and redder.
Yeah,
Like, because if you switch between the
you can
suits,
see the
like the
difference.
one from the first game, exactly, the one from the first game is like a more faded black,
Yeah,
and this one's like a dark,
yeah. Because
which I
I'm
like.
and also his chest symbol is draped differently, so it goes closer to being wider to his navel. A couple of his do that, and I like that versus being up near like his solar plexus, which I think that's a good
Yeah.
evolution.
Also, yeah. Also, that the design of like that was within just like the black parts where there wasn't any red, looked a lot better as well.
Yeah,
Something about the way it was like shaped looks cooler.
yeah. I never really liked the tracksuit. Sportswear is fine. Life story is fine.
Now Wolverine shit went hard.
The Wolverine
I
shit was
did. I did.
hard.
I
Advent
went. Yeah, that's one of the ones I didn't want to spoil for you. I didn't want to spoil the Wolverine one. I didn't want to spoil the Forever suit.
that forever suit is fucking dope, bro. Oh
It's
my
so
god,
cool.
I loved all the versions of the forever suit too. The forever
Yeah, I like. Yeah,
Shadow Spider was
I
pretty
thought the red
good.
one was.
The both
Which one?
the Shadow Spider and Peter's version. I like Shadow Spider. I actually used that suit when I was in Craven's Den.
Mm.
I like Advanced Tech 2099.
I wish they would have brought.
So what?
Yeah, 2099 was cool. I wish they would have brought some of the other suits over from the first
Mhm.
games, the first two games. Like I remember there was one where you could play as like True Miles comic suit. Like it
Oh
looked
yeah, yeah.
animated.
I did like that suit. That was one of my favorite suits for both games, the comic panel style suits. Um
Yeah, yeah.
I'd like 2099 more if you cut out the blue and got rid of the hood. Otherwise, it's
Mhm.
okay. Homemade suit is always cute. The Into the Spider Verse and across suits are all fine. They're from movies. Uh, 10th,
Yeah.
10th anniversary looks better in red. It still bothers me because again, it's just
Yeah.
it
It's
is
dumb. It's a weird design.
yeah. It's just
Like, why you have a hoodie over your mask? It's just you just extra hot at that point.
right.
It's just like
And you're just in
gross.
sneakers. He's just in boots.
Right. I was like, you don't need all that,
Yeah,
bro.
10th anniversary. People say they like it. I'm astonished. I still don't like it. I do still fuck
I,
with programmable matter though. I fucked with that suit.
I think this game made me realize that it made me realize that one for a long time, TASM 2 was my favorite Spider-Man suit.
It's a
But then
great
that
suit.
end game suit from No Way Home, I would like go between the suits. I'm like, fuck, they're both so good.
They're really good.
They're both so amazing. I, also, most of the game, I just use Peter's classic suit, like the one that he gets before he gets the advanced suit, like the one that was made for the
Yes,
game.
I use the dark variant of that because I like the colors. Where it's like a
Was
darker
it black
blue.
or was it dark?
It was a really dark blue because I was wondering that
Okay.
too. I'm like, is this blacker? Um, Strike is all right. Agents of Shield is a cute suit. It does remind me of. I think
Yeah.
that's loosely based off of Ultimate Comics when he was a Shield agent. Great
Okay.
Responsibility had a cool variant. Uh, Crimson Cowl is straight. Oh, there are a couple of these that were like lit though. Dark Ages. I fucks with Dark Ages.
Let me see what that one looks like. Hold
I think that was the really sticky looking one with the like little uh backpack. It looked like Spawn kind of.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The Dark Ages suit was cool. Absolute Carnage and King in Black were both dope. I wish King in Black didn't have the spiral or had one without it, but I know why it's there. Just because it's the whole null thing. Um
I liked his Mysterio suit a lot.
I did too. I use the my current Miles has the red and black version of that on, but the green and purple is
Mm,
fucking that Mysterio suit is dope. Um
yeah.
the Boricua suit,
I was happy.
the Boricua suit makes me laugh my fucking ass off every time I see it. I do like the suit. I think it's a good suit. But it's like
Wait, which one?
the Boricua suit, his Puerto Rican suit.
Which one's that? Oh yeah, the one you get after you help the kids,
I think so.
the,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Vision
yeah.
Academy.
After you help the school. The Puerto Rican flag suit, I think, is because like that's always been sort of a fan design, is like Miles is Captain America, but then you put the colors together, it's like, oh, he's just Puerto Rican. Just a Puerto Rican flag. Which is funny too,
Right.
because one of his variants of his main costume is also red, white, and blue. So I thought that's what it was a reference to. Because I use that suit a lot. Because I put I like to put my Peter in dark colors and my Miles in bright colors. Ironically, despite them being the opposite. Oh, the most dangerous game suits were cool. I won't use them
Oh
much.
yeah,
I like the
there's been suits. Yeah,
designs. I wish
they had the exact same suit for both of them.
they did. I wish the color palettes on them was a little bit whiter than just various browns and
Yeah,
grays. But I do like the aesthetic of it. Nah, but you know
I
what
thought it
happened?
was dope. We had three different versions of the symbiote suit. We had the classic black suit.
Yes.
We had the symbiote suit, and then we had the black suit in the game. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. I was like, I like those two variations. One was like the hybrid of the Agent Venom and the black suit. The other one's just like straight up, just like slimy black suit, which is fucking dope.
I like the general black suit, and then I love the symbiote suit just because of
Oh,
how the legs go out up and around the shoulders. Like
yeah.
that's a suit I would consider buying. But you know what made me
Okay.
fucking laugh though?
What?
The Wat Babaloo the Wat Bamboo suit.
We got the
The
blue suit. We got the fedora on.
the the fucking jazz man suit. Yeah, the look here, see suit. The you're not
We're
gonna
gonna make
stop
the
me, Campus
bullseye.
man.
Put them up, see?
Come on, see? The name is Miles Morales, see? Yeah, see? Yeah. That's it. When I unlock that after the jazz mission, I'm like, ooh, I got a new suit. I go click down and like click, 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 click. I'm like, oh boy, what is it? Wow. Got this motherfucker looking like he's a trumpeter from Miles Davis.
Right. You gonna stop the villain with some scatting.
Yeah, this motherfucker come around the skip, scap, doobity deep, dap, doobit.
Skeet up, skeet up, skeet up, skeet up, skeet up, beep up.
Yeah. Do up, do up, do up, do up, do up, do up. The fucking acapella Scatman suit, which is funny though, because it pairs perfectly well with the fucking Spider-Man Noir suit.
Right. I guess yeah. I see it.
They're both like escaped out of the 19 fucking 30s.
Right.
These fucking Great Depression ass suits.
Right. This
For
nigga starts tap
Peter's
dancing before you take down the villains.
ha cha 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 ha cha 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 cha. I hear motherfucker hitting the Watusi.
Okay. I got a couple of things to say
But
about the ending of the game.
yeah.
One, because I didn't really know the lore behind the Venom, the anti Venom suit. I didn't realize in the comics it was also made from Mister Negative finding traces of the symbiote in Eddie Brock's DNA.
I didn't know either. Weirdly enough, I thought it was. I don't know why I thought it was something else.
I heard that like a
Yeah, I
couple
didn't
days
realize
ago.
it was actually that's just a direct adaptation. So when I found that, I always thought I knew about the suit. I didn't know it was directly Mister Negative. I'm like, oh wow, that's genius that you could just
Plug that out.
put like pull directly
But
from it. It
another
works.
thing, I was just like, okay, if it's like all the perks of the symbiote or the symbiote, but without the negative aspects of it being like having it infecting your mind, nigga, if you're trying to save Harry and he doesn't have the symbiote, why don't you just give him the symbiote? Give him the anti-suit.
Whoa, whoa! I'm not gonna give my shit up to that raggedy bitch.
I'm like, you have an easy solution
Let's.
right here. Also, how is that thing not self-healing like the other symbiote was? Because he had like scratches and holes on it. You can see the skin through it.
It is. I believe,
No,
or it's supposed to be. I think in the comics the anti venom suit, because there was like Agent Anti Venom who was like healing up Venom shit. I think it was supposed to be
because
automatically
yeah,
healing.
doesn't the anti
Now
venom
we
suit
didn't see that in the game.
doesn't the anti venom suit literally cure cancer?
Yeah, and like kills symbiote.
So why couldn't he just? That was dumb to me. I was like, why don't you just give it to Harry? That's literally the whole reason you have the suit in the first place because Harry needed it.
Cause fuck them. That's
I was
why.
just like, here's an easy solution. You guys aren't even going to present it as an option. Like that seems
Nah,
that feels
this one is for me. He
so
gotta get
goofy.
his dad's working on a cure. What does he need my suit for? He'll be all right.
I guess Peter just has it now. I guess Peter just has that suit forever.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, oh shit. So this is just what you got for the next game.
Also, Flash Thompson is Asian anti venom right now in the comic.
I don't. Not currently.
He's not anti venom.
I don't believe so.
Oh, when I looked it up, it said that's what he is. Flash
Oh,
Thompson.
is he? I could be wrong.
I know he was Asian venom. I didn't realize he was Agent anti venom.
I knew he was at a point. I'm not sure if he is currently. I do know the current Venom. I mean, there's two, because it's Eddie and his son Dylan. Eddie's in space doing God shit, and then Dylan is here on Earth. Maybe he is currently.
Okay, I get why they have to call it Agent anti venom, just distinct to
Yeah.
differentiate between the black one, the black suit, and the white suit. But I'm like, this motherfucker's just going by Venom. So can't you just drop the anti part if you already have the agent in front of it? Because it's the same dude. No one else has been Agent Venom. Like just because it's white doesn't mean it's not the same thing. It's just a different color variant.
Ah, that makes too much sense. Why would you do that?
There's one's Venom, one's Asian Venom. But whatever. Whoa. Okay. Do they have different powers?
Slightly, because I don't think Anti Venom's a symbiote.
It's not.
Uh,
What the fuck is it?
oh yes, it is.
It just doesn't have a mind of its own, right? Just isn't it just like a lobotomized?
Oh, okay. It's a fusion of symbiote and human white blood cells.
So it doesn't have its own mind.
I don't believe so. Yeah, if it like comes off you, I don't think it's gonna like jump anywhere.
Wait, what'd you say?
If it yeah, I don't think it's gonna like be traveling places like the other symbiotes do.
Yeah, because first Eddie Brock had the anti venom symbiote. Now Flash Thompson has
Yeah.
it. So I'm like, I don't know how that works, but yeah, just give homeboy Harry the anti venom suit. That way he can still be a hero.
He got his pappy to do it. He'll be all right. He's in a coma. If he wanted it, he'd just ask.
If he really cared that much, he'd do something about it.
Right. Yeah, that is something I want to talk about though. His like canon anti venom suit. I'm not huge on it, but it's more so because
it's the eyes.
It's the eyes, but it's because it doesn't follow the same philosophy as the symbiote suit.
In what?
So what it is they made a black and white version of the advanced suit, which I'm not a huge fan of, mostly because of like the big white spider symbol. I prefer his symbols to be black. But it's also like not segment, like the legs are cut off in the shoulder straps, and that bothers me. So they took that same philosophy and gave him a black symbol, but it still cuts off at the sides, but it doesn't have the straps, so it's just white everywhere.
Yeah.
And it has like a black belt around it. So it looks semi incomplete. Okay, so the legs do continue, but they go into the armpit. It looks weird if you put it next to his symbiote suit. Like the whole thing with like you have Agent Venom and Agent Anti Venom. They look like inversions of each other. So why would this just not look like an inverted symbiote suit?
Yeah.
That's what's weird to me. versus it looking like a variant of the advanced suit, or just an inverted black suit. Like
Yeah, it
that's why I
goes
think
into the
it's weird.
armpits. Very strange.
Yeah, and then the armpits are black and go down kind of like Miles' suit. So like you look at the anti venom suit, it's it has those big pointy uh Raimi esque eyes.
Yeah, I feel like even bigger eyes than Raimi. I feel like they feel very 90s to me.
Yeah, it is. It's God, what's his name? Like McFarlane. It's those big ass McFarlane eyes.
Yeah, he's a McFarlane eyes.
Um, so it's like I have when I saw the anti venom suit, I'm like, what? And you're forcing me to wear it when there's a
Like
perfect
even at that point, I think it would look better if the eyes on that suit weren't black at the rims and white like a traditional spider eye. If it was just all black, I think it would work better.
the issue is in the other symbiote suit variations, they have one that is just a white suit with a black spider and black eyes. When I got the powers, I'm like, switch because that's what the suit should look like. You you made more work for yourselves versus just palette swap. Like it might be lazy, sure, but just make more variations that look like slightly different suits. Like this white anti venom suit should have been an advanced suit variation, like the one
Yeah.
that you get at Endgame, and then you should have had a symbiote suit and then an anti venom suit where those colors are swapped.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Like that. You should have had black suit, symbiote suit, a another design, and then just inverse be the anti venom suit, and you would have saved yourself a couple slots.
They could have. You could or use those to bring in other suits from the previous games.
Yeah, yeah. So, which I will say, most of the color swaps and variations, I'd say for the most part, are pretty good. Uh, Kumo suit's cool. Hybrid suit's always going to be ugly, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Um, Amazing suit, great. Amazing suit 2, great. Spider-Man 2099, great. Scarlet Spider is fine. The
Oh,
superior
that's
suits
what I
looks
was
fucking
going to say.
good.
It's great. It looks really good. I was gonna say I was caught between. It made me realize this game made me realize. Damn, Tasma 2 suit is great, but also that the suit from the end of No Way Home is great. And I'm like, I don't know which one's my favorite. I love them both because one of them has that nice bright classicness to it. And I don't know what it was. I think this is the first suit in live action where we've had the red on the boots go all the way up to the knees and do like that V thing. I'm like, that looks sick as fuck. I love that. Love that for the suit.
Yeah, no,
I don't know which
those
one
two
do you like
suits
more?
are those two suits are amazing. Weirdly enough, this game series probably has my favorite like classic style suit, mostly because it's the only one that has the pill bug on the back, aside from the homecoming suit. And I have minor critiques with the homecoming suit. Um,
Mm.
but those superior suits were dope. I was running around with the anti-ox suit with the white on white for a while, just looking like a glowing beacon of light. That shit was dope. That
I
shit was
didn't that one. Huh.
anti-ox is like okay, but the white on white is kind of tough in my opinion. Um the Arachnite suit is cool. Noir suit is good. They made it better, I think, between games.
The
Uh
noir suit.
yeah. I can't
So
remember how it
we don't have a
didn't look bad in
suit?
the first game. I think they just added more to it in the second game, unless it's the same suit. Maybe
No,
I'm wrong.
they don't have a. I think in the first game it was just like the classic noir, and in this one it's
Yeah,
the the movie noir.
yeah. I agree. Yeah, I think you're right. Homemade suits there. Okay, this is a minor thing. Why wasn't Spider Punk's suit for Miles? I know they always put it for Peter, but he's not a Peter variant. He's Hobie.
Well, he's not a
Now
Miles
Peter knows
variant
Hobie, but it'd make more sense, I think, for Miles to have the Spider Punk
because
suit.
Hobie Brown is black in the Ultimate Universe. Yeah,
Yes,
whatever
and
universe.
like,
And
yeah,
they should have. You know what I was like? Why didn't they just? Well, they should have. If they're gonna put Miles a suit from the movie, from both movies. Why couldn't they put Hobie in? They could have easily put
Yeah,
Hobie in.
yeah, is like a just variant of my. They have Miguel for Peter.
But that's
Just have
not
Hobie.
movie Miguel. That's just regular comic Miguel.
That's true. Which I mean, they didn't have a movie Spider Punk, but Spider Punk is still canonically Hobie. I still think it should have been one of Miles's suits,
I agree.
regardless of which one they put in there. Um, so this is a particular one that I like that I didn't know that people aren't huge fans of. The Secret Wars Civil War suit. I thought I was the only one that read that book. I actually really think that suit is
The
cool.
Secret War
The
suit? Are you talking about the yellow?
the Spider Falcon suit, the tactical
Oh,
one.
the Spider Falcon suit. Okay, that's from Secret Wars.
That's from Secret Wars Civil War tie-in. So remember Secret Wars 2015? It had all those Battle World
Yeah,
tie-ins
yeah.
of like little Elseworld stories. So there was one for Secret Wars where Spider-Man has a tactical suit.
Oh, and it's that suit.
It and that's the suit. And I really like. I've always liked that suit. I always wanted to do a cosplay of it because I thought it was super cool.
The camo pants on them.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a really creative design. I wouldn't
I
mind
like
seeing more of it.
I like the Spider Knight suits. I thought those were dope. I didn't use them enough, but I thought they were cool suits.
Which suits?
More so Miles, the one with the hoods and the capes. They look like Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah, no, I like those. Like yeah, like the Arachnite suits. I really like. Iron Spider is always going to be a classic. The Raimi suits, they look good. You know, they're kind of phased out for me at this point. Same with
They're my least favorite.
upgraded classic
Probably
suit.
my favorite. Actually, no. Yeah, the Raimi suits don't take it for me. I think that my
I agree.
first. Ooh, yeah. If we're just ranking the suits, that's tough. I'll probably go TASM 2,
Mhm.
uh, end of Homecoming suit. The third suit would be the black and red Far From Home suit, but the No Way Home version of that because there's alterations. And then
I've
maybe
never seen that suit.
Homecoming suit, and then Raimi's, and then TASM 1. I don't like the TASM 1 suit that much. TASM 2 suit.
I I actually find myself liking it for like really nostalgic reasons. I think it's so off the beaten path as a movie suit. It kind of stands out on its own
Oh, very
that
much.
I kind of like it. But I can absolutely understand why people don't like that fucking basketball suit.
Yeah, the fucking basketball head ass with the yellow
Yeah,
eyes.
like I like the suit, but I like those movies. So
Oh, I like those movies
you know,
too.
it's like yeah, it's like I'm people don't give Andrew Garfield enough credit. He was putting in work in those movies, and so
Yeah,
was Mark
they
Wahlberg.
didn't start putting respect on his name until No Way Home. I'm like, he been that boy. Been
He's
that
been
Spider-Man.
like don't don't get me wrong. Toby's a good a very good actor. Tom is a great actor. Andrew, I think, is they each bring different things to the table, but if we're talking like raw performance talent, I think Andrew is the best of the three.
100% agree. I think it's
That's not to say that the other two are bad. I think Tom is the best like Spider-Man actor.
yeah.
I think Andrew Garfield as a flat actor has the best talent and range of the three. But that doesn't mean the other two can't act because Toby's a very good actor
You know
too.
what's the crazy thing though for me that blows my mind is the fact that in my opinion, the only two adaptations of Spider-Man that have gotten him accurately, as far as like personality goes, would be Spectacular
Mhm.
and these Insomniac games, because like they capture
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
corny charm and like the dad jokes. I feel like none of the movies have been able to go
Oh,
there.
like well, Tassim one did it a little bit, but he was more of a dick than corny. But there was that one joke when he was in the black suit with the Russian bear dude with the axe. He's like, wait. I have one last thing to say. I don't have any honey. And I'm like, Peter, you fucking bitch.
And then when he was on the wall with Dima, and he was just like, "What did he say?" He was like, "Oops," or like, "Can we like do a rain check or something like that?" Do you remember
Right.
that when he was in the room with the tiger and like the dude turned around and saw him on the wall?
Yeah.
I'm like, those are Spider-Man moments. Like I don't think we've
Yeah.
those in the movies. Like
We
stop a
I
fight.
don't think we get them. Okay, there have been two times we got them. We got them a little bit in Tassim 1 during his first scene. The other time we got it specifically was in Civil War. He was talking shit the whole fight.
You're right. You're right. That's the best we've ever seen him in Civil War. Also, I don't give a fuck.
I I can't get over that. To this day, it's been almost 10 years, and that's still like the greatest film adaptation of Spider-Man. And he's only there for
And
8
I'm like,
minutes.
and
I don't know what
we have
happened.
yet to do it because I feel like I really hope we get a different writing team or a different creative team behind this, whatever next phase of Tom Holland Spider Man
We
is, because he got it in him. He can be that Spider Man. We just haven't written him that way.
No, he can do it. He I'm not worried about Tom or his ability to improvise or add lines or perform it. I'm not worried about Tom. I'm worried about the material that he's given because it's the same thing with Andrew. It's like it wasn't Andrew's fault that elements of those movies didn't work. He was great, but he only can work with what he's given. A good actor can't act out a mediocre to lackluster script. That's not to say that those scripts are bad. It's just if we're talking characterization, and obviously it's subjective, and I think there's a lot of stuff. If we go back and watch, I'm sure there's examples, but like I'll never get over watching Civil War. I still rewatch. Someone posted the sequence of Spidey in Civil War. I'm just like, he was perfect, and he was only
Yeah,
there for 8 minutes and got everything 100%. And it's not that it's been bad since, but we haven't gotten that same caliber of writing since. And I don't know what drug cocktail they took to be in the fucking factory writing heat for an 8-minute cameo.
because even in Infinity War, he wasn't like that. Like they got him down. They got him down packed in that first appearance.
How because they had the whole range of just like, with great power comes great responsibility without even saying it. And the quips just like, hey buddy, I think you dropped this. Like,
Which is a Spider-Man ass
yo, you've
line,
got a metal arm?
right? Those Spider-Man ass lines. Yeah, man, they just need a different writing team or something because, like, we need that corny Pete.
They're,
We need that corny, goofy, funny Pete. And I will say, I have a guilty pleasure for the Rhino scene in TASM 2, even though it's a little misguided because Peter's being a little reckless. I think the playful heart of the character is there. And when he's in the
yeah,
back of the machine, not machine, the truck, he's like, "Oh, I got you. No, come to Papa." When he's trying to collect all the vials and stuff.
yeah.
I'm like, that's Spider Man. Like, where's this been?
That opening scene of Tassim 2, the first like 10 minutes, uh, is still some of the strongest like Spider-Man we've ever seen. That's up there. That's right underneath
Yeah,
Civil War. And I mean Spider-Man scenes. We're not talking about that bullshit opening with his secret
no,
spy
fuck no.
parents. It's like, I mean, of Spider-Man, that chase sequence is right under Civil War. Because it's like visually, that still looks fan fucking tastic. Again, I don't know what drugs they were giving the VFX artists. They were animating that shit like the rent was due. Like I don't know what it was, what category of like coke, heroin, and weed and alcohol that they stirred in a pot and say, look, take this. Or I don't know how much they paid them, but pay them motherfuckers again. Because nothing has looked like those movies since. No Way Home looks great. Don't get me wrong, but it's one of those movies where it's like, oh yeah, that's a
Yeah,
visual.
they took a little
But the wind blowing off the bagginess of the suit in part two or in Tassim 2,
bit
unfucking touchable.
uncomfortable.
Um,
Also, they I don't know if you saw it. They put Across the Spider Verse on Netflix.
they did, and I want to watch it. I'm probably going to watch it maybe this weekend or something.
Same.
Um,
Oh,
yeah, I'm
I think one thing we didn't touch about. What do you think about the Mysterio fight?
that was good. What'd you think about that side mission storyline?
Oh, the whole Mysterio side one. That's
Yeah.
something I regret. I didn't listen to all of the tape. I only listened to the first.
Oh, okay. I don't feel bad now because I only listened to the last tape, and that was after I beat it.
Yeah, I should have listened to it more. I was like, oh, I want to give my
Uh,
the PS5 back. I'm like, oh damn, I could listen to those tapes. But I thought the story
yeah,
itself.
I got in there and I'm like, I remember y'all from the beginning. Oh my gosh, it was Cole and the other girl the whole time. Me who didn't listen to any of the fucking messages. Like, whoa, this is such a
Whoa,
surprise to me.
crazy. And I think that
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't listen to any of the messages. I remember during the fight because it was like what didn't it have 3 stages as well, 3 phases of fight. I
Yeah.
remember
It did.
I can't remember. I think it was the second into the last stage. I was like, oh, I beat him. Okay, and I was just like trying to get out. I'm like, wait, when the fuck is this hallway over? What the fuck is happening?
Right.
I'm
Uh,
like, did I do something
I was
wrong?
like,
Did I break it?
I kept running around in circles. I'm like, man, fuck this. Maybe there's a hint. And I turned around. There were the steps. I'm like, oh, well, all right. I guess we'll go here then.
Right. I'm like, oh damn. Because I'm like, I should have known. Because I think the other Mysteriums or Miss whatever the fuck they're called. I think
Mysteriums.
Mysteriums were like that as well. Like you would turn around and that there the exit would be. Like,
Mhm.
okay, I see you, game. You trying to be funny? You trying to be clever with me?
Yeah, I'm trying to think about any other ones, any other side missions or anything else to really talk about for the game.
Where does this one rank for you
Um,
as far as the 3 games go?
I mean, this is probably recency bias mixed with how much I enjoyed the gameplay and how I kept coming back and kind of want to go back to it. Uh, 2-1 Miles Morales. Despite the fact that I think Miles Morales' game has better combat than one, and has I think one executes its story and surprises a little better than two. Also, the first face is better.
The what? Oh, the first is better.
but
I think I have to go. Oh
but
no, continue.
yeah, go ahead.
I would say I would go 1, 2 than Miles Morales, only because I feel like the one
Mhm.
had that one surprise factor of like, oh damn, we're actually getting an in-depth Spider-Man story, and the fact that we spent so much time with Peter, they really wanted to make a flesh out story, not just a Spider-Man story. And I felt like
Yeah.
really having the connection with Feast and Martin Lee, and the fact that Aunt May died really hit a lot harder than the end of this movie. And I felt like you can tell me if it's
Yeah.
different for you. I feel like the Ock fight hit harder than the Harry fight did.
No, I agree. Don't get me wrong. Yuri Lowenthal was
He was
acting
he's doing it.
his whole ass off in the hair. I mean, yeah, in the first game, incredible. But in the Harry fight, I was hearing like desperation, sadness, concern. Where like I was hearing the feelings. He was acting his ass off both games. Um, I agree. I think the May scene and like the situation with Ak, because I was kind of gaslit by Ak. I'm like, oh, are they not going to make him a villain in this game? That'd be an interesting thing. And by the time they did and came around with, it, I'm like, that's now that's interesting
But
how this
also I think
developed.
that for me, because they have a similar formula in the sense that the first villain is Craven
Mhm.
slash Martin Lee, and the second villain is someone you have a more personal connection with, whether it being your mentor, being your best friend.
The,
And that
they hit it better
they
for
hit
the
it.
first one.
They hit it better for the first one in both connections. But I think the thing that because we knew from the beginning, or at least I felt they were telegraphing it like big letters on the wall that Harry's going to be bad by the end of this game. He's going to be bad. I think,
Yeah, that when I realized Eddie Brock wasn't in it, I'm like, okay, Harry's going to be Venom. How are they going to unfold this? So it's like I agree that I think the execution and the overall narrative of one is a little better. I think the reason I'm putting two above it is purely based off of like entertainment through gameplay.
mm-hmm. No,
Um
yeah. What I was going to say, what I was
oh
going to
yeah,
say
go ahead.
was,
Yeah.
I felt as though, even though both of them were both Ock and Harry were headed, for me, Doc Ock's turn was more sad, and
Yes.
Harry's I was waiting for it to happen, but Doc Ock's I was dreading it happening.
Yeah, Doc Ock was like tragic. Harry's was almost kind of exciting in a dark way. It's like, oh
Yeah.
fuck yeah, Venom's here. I'm about to beat this bitch ass.
Right, right. And he was an active part of the story,
Right.
both within Peter's life and Spider-Man's life. So yeah, but I still very much enjoyed the gameplay. I liked all of the new mechanics that we had. I did miss some of the gadgets from the first game.
Yeah,
Which
a couple.
like there's one move Spider-Man had in the first game. It was fucking broken. So he had one where it was like he could use not in the same sense of electricity that Miles has, but there's like one where he did have like some form of electric punch. So
Yeah.
I would do this thing where I would like go to the sky and do like the ground slam that would like shake up
Okay.
enemies. So I would use those two things in tandem, and I would slam on the ground, and it would electrocute everybody in my vicinity, and then I would just beat them up with like one or two
Thinking ahead.
punches. But you can't really do that in this game. I mean, kind
Yeah.
of, but I don't know. It hit different.
I
Also,
mean, for
I
starters,
sticking enemies to walls too. That was fun with like the
for
spider bot.
starters, there's no screwball in this game.
This is
That
true. That
instantly
was she was
bumps it up a little
DLC
bit.
though.
Huh?
Screwball was DLC. She was City Never Sleeps.
Oh, she was?
Yeah,
Uh, do you think this game is gonna get DLC? I am hoping it does.
I fucking hope so. I would
I
really,
I I
but I
want them
think
to do
Miles DLC,
uh
not your DLC.
Miles didn't get DLC, did he?
No, he didn't get DLC. He was just like I feel like if Spider-Man One was an album, Miles' game was an EP. So
Yeah.
I feel like the I don't know. I feel like
I
the DLC will be smaller EPs because you can't just leave the game off with Peter not being Spider-Man and then immediately put him as the leader for the DLCs. I feel like the DLCs might deal with Cindy Moon, which is something we haven't talked about either.
Oh god, I forgot about that. What the fuck was that? Also, wasn't that Chameleon?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We finished the Craven thing with all the bases, and that's Chameleon.
Yeah. Yeah, you see the guy and he shows up to Rio's door the date and is like, "Yeah, this is his daughter Cindy." And I'm like, "Wait a second. That's Chameleon. Wait a fuck.
Where the fuck?
Cindy Moon? Hold on. Hold on."
Wait, Albert Moon wasn't Chameleon.
He wasn't?
No, he's just some random dude.
Okay, I thought he was like an Asian guy.
No, they showed Chameleon's face. He looks very different.
Okay, maybe okay.
Yeah, yeah. Look him up right now. He looked like a. He
Yeah,
don't look
but
like
I'm
Craven.
trying to not accidentally be racist.
He wasn't Asian. He was like Russian.
No, he looks Asian.
Let me look this shit up again. Also, I would
He
say
looks Asian to
the
me.
perfect character design was fucking Quentin Beck. I'm like, that nigga looks like a Quentin Beck.
He did look like a Quentin Beck. I'm like, yeah, your face fit whatever you say it is.
You fit this. All of you fit this.
Yeah, his current disguise is an Asian guy. Now, uh whoever
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. It was an Asian guy. Very different Asian guy. Wait, what the fuck?
uh
Yep, yep. Because this was. Yeah, that's what he looked like on the top of the building. That's right. You're right.
hold up.
I like that they gave Martin Lee a redemption arc. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I like him with long hair and a beard better. Got that redemption look. Cletus Cassidy looked so good too. I'm like, yes, I
He
should have given
did.
this man a beard years ago.
Okay, okay, they do look different, but it is just like Asian guys.
Yeah, because the other one's like more middle aged.
It is two Asian guys. But they do look different. I will acquiesce that. Because I guess I was excited. I'm like, oh, that's gonna be some bonker shit. Chameleon is Cindy Moon's dad. That's crazy. Please don't shoehorn her into having powers.
I feel like that's what they're leaning on. I feel like that's what they're
Oh
heading.
God. Oh fuck.
What?
What if they do the Inheritors?
What's the inheritor story?
That's Spider Verse.
You think they're gonna head there?
That's so because remember Cindy Moon was original sin.
She was bitten by the same spider Peter was, and then she was like,
Yeah.
"Go away."
And she got her powers, and that was the original sin is like because remember she was the bride in Spider Verse.
I never read that story.
Yeah, but the original Spider Verse.
No, I never read it.
Oh wow. It's
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 good.
an experience. It's fine. It's
It's
fine.
fine. The movies did it better.
Yes, leagues. I mean, the movies did miles better. The games did miles better.
No, ooh, okay. Ooh, now that we're 2-3 in, who who's the better Miles? You have to pick one: movie Miles or game Miles.
Are you talking about writing or performance?
Like, I guess both. Like
Uh,
its entirety. Who you picking? You can only have one. You can only have movie Miles forever, or TV or game Miles forever.
mm,
I know my answer already.
I think I'm going with Game Miles. I respect what the movie has done. That movie has revolutionized fucking Miles Morales. I think I'm going with Game just because I've had more exposure, and so I think he's a lot. I've seen a greater, more natural progression, and been able to see it. It's not in it. The movie version is fucking fantastic. I think that laid some of the groundwork for the game
I think
in terms of how they wrote them.
I gotta go with movie Miles. I know I spent like 3 games with game Miles, but one, I like his voice better. Two, I think he has more
Speak Moore's
style.
voice.
He has more style, and I think he's funny.
He does dress better. I'm not
He's a
disagreeing
more
with you on those
distinct
points.
character with his personality and his values, and I don't know. I feel like overall he's written better because I felt like I get a sense of I can tell the difference in his quipping is very distinct from Peter's quipping, and I can't think of
Yeah.
anything unique as far as how Miles goes about being Spider-Man in the games versus how Peter goes about being Spider-Man, at least within tonality and interacting with villains. Because I don't think he's found his like
Yeah, the
style into how his Spider-Man's, if it makes
yeah, it's like I think Miles as a Spider-Man is like stronger than Pete was at his age.
I think
And he's certainly
powers wise, Game Miles wipes the floor with Movie Miles all day. Like that's not even a
yeah.
question. But I think for personality wise and just his interpersonal relationships, I think I would rather kick it with Movie Miles than
I don't
Game Miles.
I don't disagree with that. Like Game Miles is definitely somebody that I would hang out with. Movie Miles is just seems like a cool ass dude.
Okay. Plus, plus
So it's like
Game Miles has done what
it's really an either or because I think they're both really really good. You could really do either or with it.
yeah, they're different though. They're different Mileses.
Very like I mean for
One's a
starters,
painter and one's a music
movie
producer. Or one's a like a
right.
physical artist.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Game Miles is into music and music production. Movie Miles is into like you said paint, but also like fucking astrophysics.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that too.
Like
Yeah, man. I like it. I respect Movie Miles as like his tenacity, his style, his like his ignorance.
he can dress.
He can rap
He don't be
better.
scaring the hoes away with
I
MF
like the with
Doom or them trash ass prowler beats.
yeah. I don't know. I just think that it's interesting. I have a reverse thing from
Mhm, mhm.
this might be a hot take. I have a reverse thing with how you view Peter. I think I don't like the face, but I love the voice. But for Miles, I like the face and his look, but I it doesn't hit the same for like if I'm reading Miles, it's going to be Shamik Moore's voice. It's not going to be Najee's voice.
Who that's a great question actually. Cause like when I read Peter, I can switch between Yuri and Josh Keaton pretty easily. Uh yeah,
Yeah, because I feel like those voices are interchangeable. Those are two very different guys, but
yeah.
they both hit that same tone of Spider-Man, which means there is tone and way Peter Parker is written that the movies have not captured. Because those two actors in two very different
And
properties both
I
capture
think
that
I'm
same
actually
thing.
kind of the opposite of Miles of I'm still trying to hear how he sounds when I read him in books. Like it's just kind of my moderately neutral black kid head voice. Like if I stopped it Yeah, no,
Because we got a
they're
few
very
different voices. Like, it's still to me that
right,
Donald
and
Glover was his
Donald
voiceover.
Glover's might honestly be closest to what I probably hear because it's kind of a medium of both, even though he only did it once. Because like even you get into like vocal
Hmm.
cadence, like Game Miles is definitely a teenager where it's like, yeah, it's
He's a
definitely a
higher
higher
level.
register.
I liked him better. I liked him better in Spider-Man 2 than
His
I
voice
did
is
in the
definitely
first two
deeper. Like
games.
you
I'll
can
say
tell
that.
he's aged, and they're playing it like that. But versus like movie Miles, like you know, it's your boy Miles Morales. Yeah, back at it again. Like very like laid back. It's like, oh wow, that's like really cool. I like your vibe. You're really chill.
He just cooler. I don't know. He just got that. He
The
got that charm
exaggerated
for him.
swagger of a black teen. It's just something
Oh,
about him.
something about the boy. Like that scene in the bodega was so good. I feel like movie Game Miles would go about that situation against Spot differently than movie Miles would have.
Just like, hey, buddy, it looks like you're not supposed to be here. I haven't
You're
seen
not
you
supposed to
around the shop too much.
like it feels like oh fuck. Oh, that's a tough one. Actually, no, it's not. Because I feel like the TikTok NPC Miles. I feel like he
Yeah.
based his off of Game Miles. I really wish Uncle Aaron right now. Like nigga, you sound like Game Miles. You don't sound like Movie Miles.
Man, really wish Uncle Aaron could see me now. Look at me. Big strong. You know what it is? He's like Deku from My Hero.
Yeah, dude. Yes, that Deku. He's the Deku of Miles.
It's like it's not bad at all. It's just it's very youthful, intentionally youthful.
Yeah, of course.
But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like I do agree. I like him a lot better in 2 than in the other 2 games cuz like I think he gets an opportunity to express more range. Oddly enough, outside of his own game where he was the focus
Right.
cuz he's allowed to be a little bit more mature and talk about things like, "Yeah, I just really want to ask Haley on this date, but I don't know." Like he talks like an anime character. That's what it is.
Yeah. Where Miles in the movies feels like an actual person.
Yeah, he sounds like a teen versus an anime teen. And then you have Peter
Yeah.
who just who's just the best. Oh, this is how you're gonna act? That's why your wife left you, Connors. It's like, bro, relax. The
That's why
damage is
her
supposed
teeth
to be
getting caught by
physical, not
another man.
emotional. That's why she slept with him. That's why she left you, Harry. Pete, man, I'm
For
so
nothing,
glad you're
cut that off.
here.
Oh
You
my.
gonna give me that suit? Whoa, Brokey, hold up. Sicky, relax.
Remove that
Didn't-
pause.
It's like, unhand me.
Unhand me, wench.
Unhand me, sick bitch.
You're letting all the
Just looks at him, get your the New York accent pops out when he had the black suit on. Get your fucking hands off me, you gabagool bitch.
fucking
Get your fucking mitts off me before I popped you in your schnauzer right now.
you
Get the
bozo.
fuck out of here. The fuck you think you doing?
That's that wise guy in New York. And then you have the
Oh, we got a wise guy, yeah?
yo, you bugging.
We know what to do with certain guys like you around parts like this. No, I just sound like Joey Wheeler from Yu-Gi-Oh!
I'm surprised they didn't give Miles the Spider Tims in this game.
They're probably on one of them ugly side suits. I think they're on the 2099 suit. He got them bright red boots.
Oh yeah. Wait, isn't the one who has the camo? Doesn't he have Tim's in that one?
I think so. I want to say he does.
Stomp
Which
him
one's
out
the
with
one
the
with the
Spider
fucking camo?
Tims.
I would rather him wear the Spider Tims than them corny ass Adidas
Right.
that he rocking.
Who told you this
Don't
was
get
good, bro? Miles, who told you this was okay?
the old Adidas were kind of fresh, the black and red ones, but these pink, white, and blue ones are not doing it.
Damn.
And they're trying to charge $300 for them shits for real. I'm like, bitch,
Your store dry the fuck
what?
up.
I don't know if I'd wear them shit for
The crazy
$30.
thing is, like, we've had 2 movie Miles Adidas that fucking sold out fast. I can't imagine motherfuckers buying
Yep.
this new one. I'm like, ugh, I'm good.
These bitches are gonna go
Right.
stale.
I'm like, please, we'll make them half off. Just
They're gonna be dropping these shits at a discount. Please buy them for $150. If you don't get the fuck out my face, maybe
maybe
$60.
if that.
Yeah, if I really need some new kicks. Yeah, I don't know. We got any other thoughts or feelings on it?
Craven was cool. We talked about Lizard. Talked about
Oh yeah, Lizard was cool. I really like his design.
yeah.
Good fight. It was a long ass fight. His fight was his fight and Scream's fight were
They
the
were
longest fights.
right. Like, damn, we went like 4 locations with the Lizard. That was wild.
Yeah, it's like, God damn, bro, stop running around the fucking city. Come take
Also,
your medicine.
I took well advantage of my webs. Like, webbing motherfuckers up was just like made it too easy sometimes. I'm like, oh, I can web up the bosses and I can just beat their ass, and then
Right.
then when
Just pep, pop, pip, pop,
the only
pip,
time I
pop.
couldn't do that
like,
was
oh,
with
yeah,
Venom.
I
They're
can-
like, yeah, Venom's impervious to webs. I'm like, shit.
It's like, fuck. And I was all out of like symbiote powers. I'm like, shit. Like I was all out of symbiote powers and I had no focus left. So I'm over here and he just like hits me with 2 smacks and my health goes
Mink,
do 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 do. I'm like, oh no. That was some shit that caught me off guard too. You can have multiple different enemies pop up in different places at the same time. And the first time it happened, it was unplanned and fucked me up where I went down to a bunch of cultists and was taking them out, and then a bunch of symbiotes popped up. And I'm like,
yeah, that happened.
what the fuck?
Right? Can we?
Is
do
that
this?
allowed?
You know what's weird?
It's like, hey, hold on. Time out. He cheating. Hey.
You know what's crazy? I don't know if you had this experience, but every time I would go out as Peter, I feel like half the time when I showed up, Miles was already at the scene, whooping ass. But whenever I was playing as Miles, Peter never showed up. I never had that nigga help me once. Did he come out to help? Did he? Oh fuck!
I still hear you.
Yeah, I'm back. Did he ever come to help you?
Okay. Not that I remember. Now, granted, Miles showed up significantly less with my Peter, but he still showed up. Earlier today, he popped up. I'm like, oh shit, it's the boy.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Also, apparently, if you do the flame missions, I played after at my friend's house after I already returned my other friend's PS5, and Yuri popped up on the scene as I was whooping ass. I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
she popped up when I was playing as Miles a couple times.
Yeah. I was like, oh shit, okay, all right, then.
Now I just need Black Cat to show up.
Sheesh, you telling me?
Can I get to the yams?
Sweet yams,
Show me the way.
I got
bills to pay.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with the game. I'm curious to know where these things are going to lead us, whether it be the Cletus Cassidy thing, the Cindy Moon thing, or the Doc Ock Norman Osborn thing. Yeah, man.
I would. Yeah. I think what for DLC, I'd want to know. I want to follow up on Black Cat, and I'd want to follow up with the Cletus Cassidy thing. I think that'd be some pretty good like focus points for DLC.
Yeah, if I had to rate it, I put the first game as like a 9.5, between 9.5 and 10. I put this game at an 8 out of 10, and I put Miles at like a 7.5 out of 10.
Even with the minor things I complained about, it's like one and 2 are both 10s to me. Miles is this says 8, but like a really strong, tough 8.
Oh, the only reason this one gets an 8 for me is because 1, the glitches were crazy. 2, I think
the glitches were funny though.
They were funny. So I remember I was web gliding one time and I flew into a building and I got stuck and I couldn't get outside of the building. I was like,
I think I almost had that happen once.
I got stuck inside of the shed on the ceiling on the roof.
Fuck!
Right. Oh,
No!
fuck. And then the other one, I was like, I don't know. I think some of the writing could have been a little stronger, whether it be with Craven and like his having some sort of character beyond just it being the hunt, you know, or like what would have helped Craven if he had his that one woman from a Spectacular Spider-Man with him, like his love interest. So you have
Oh, the black girl, Calypso.
Calypso.
His
If he had
girlfriend.
Calypso to bounce off of, that might have helped for me because he was.
Well, be careful what you wish for because she's going to be in the movie.
Oh damn! Is she gonna be in the movie for real?
Yeah, she is. I want to say it's Ariana DeBose.
She's in the Craven movie.
I could be.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Where is it? Did they actually call this shit? They call it Craven the Hunter. Yeah. Wow. I'm surprised I remember that shit. Yeah, it's Ariana DeBose.
It's Calypso, huh? Interesting.
Yep,
Okay.
she's gonna be Calypso.
All right.
And oh wow, Chameleon's gonna be in it.
And Rhino.
Yep. Which, like, if the leaks are true, this shit don't sound good. What?
I didn't think the trailer.
Oh, it's coming out.
I
Huh?
didn't think the trailer was bad. It's kind of fun.
It exists,
but
it
looks fun.
It looks like every Sony movie.
I would say it looked fun, but I was seeing Craven in this game. I was like, damn, now that's fucking Craven. Like,
yeah, seeing Craven in this game, I'm like, that's him. That's Craven.
Do you remember that one line from that one part from Spectacular Spider-Man when he's like, Spider-Man's like, "Where are you from?" He's like, "Mother Russia, by way of Mother Africa."
It was like,
and Peter's like, 2 moms and still so ill-behaved.
This motherfucker's an abuser. He's the problem. Spider-Man is one of those characters. He's like the 50 Cent superheroes. I see why motherfuckers want to beat your ass. You should be saying slick to their face. Like, I remember in Ultimate Comics when one of the first times he met Kingpin, he's like, "Who are you supposed to be?" He's like, "Hey, if I cut you open, will marshmallow fluff come out?" It's like, boy, fuck you. You don't get the fuck out of my face with that raggedy ass suit.
I don't remember that, but that sounds like some shit he would say. That's the thing. That's the fucking thing. These movies are afraid to make Spider-Man mean. Because the only time they ever made him mean was Chasm 1 and people bitched about it.
Right. And it's like, he's like, "Oh no." I still quote to this day, "Oh no, my one weakness, it's small knives." Look, you can talk shit without being a bigot. If you don't know how to do that, then you're a shitty writer.
Right.
You can be an asshole without, like, going for low-hanging fruit. It's not like he's swinging around seeing a bunch of, like, hood dudes to be like, "Hey, what it do, niggas?" It's like, no, he don't got to be doing all that.
No way.
He's like, "What's up, darky?" Like, no, he's not. He's not the flying racist. He's not Homelander. It's like, no, Spider-Man could pull up on somebody. It's like, "Hey, look, you're looking like you kind of missed a spot there. There's somebody like tagging graffiti or whatever. Here, let me help you," and just punch him in the face.
Yeah,
it's like something like that before. It's like, no, let him be a bit more of a dickhead like he was in Civil War. Let him talk a little bit of shit. "Oh no, the spider's here." What? Where? Guys, here, hide him. I'll put the money back. You guys get out of here.
We need Spider-Man roasting people in these new movies. That's what we've been missing for a long time. Spider-Man, be comfortable being Spider-Man.
He's from New York.
He's from New York.
He should be lighting their asses up.
His life is harder now. He has nobody. If you don't give him a little piece of joy about clowning these villains, I don't know what to say.
Right. Like.
Speaking of which,
you should be talking
shit.
Can
we talk about the fact that Craven killed like 4 of Spider-Man's villains in this game?
Yeah, he did. Like a real nigga. And then got killed by the biggest, baddest, blackest one. He went out like a thug. He got decapitated by Venom. That's hard as fuck. And Harry's like, "Oh no.
Did I do that?
Like, what did I do? What did I do?" Harry's just like, this isn't me. Oh my gosh. That was so bad.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
So here we have.
Oh
Oh no!
no.
So 2 questions we'll have. One, why didn't the symbiote start acting up until it got on Peter? Because Harry was rocking it for a minute, seemingly, and it had no problems till it got on Peter. Then all of a sudden,
It was submissive and breedable.
it
That's
was
why.
what?
It was submissive and breedable.
Wow.
That's why.
All right. All right, bet.
I appreciate you just rolling with the answer. No, I don't have a honest answer to that. I guess it's just I guess it's feeding on the sickness. It's like this will do. Then it got to a healthy body. It's like more of that. Yeah.
Shit.
Got a lot of pent up aggression and unresolved trauma in here.
Ooh, leave me that pain, baby. Oh, what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, it's back to the villains. Yeah, so we killed Scorpion. He killed Shocker.
Yep.
He killed Vulture.
Wait,
Yeah, he killed
did he
Shocker.
kill Shocker?
He was one of the ones on the walls. He had Shocker's helmet inside of his little base. And he killed
Spidey ain't got no fucking villains left,
for
huh?
real. No, he killed Shocker. He killed Scorpion. He killed Vulture. And he killed one more. He might have killed Electro. I can't remember exactly. And then I can't remember if Rhino's dead.
How the fuck do you
I
kill a
have no
man made out of electricity? The fuck did you
I
do
think
to
those were
him?
the main 3 he killed though. I can't remember if he killed Electro or not. But I'm like, damn, how would he even do that?
You trapped this nigga in a rubber band?
You trapped him in a rubber band.
Just held on the ball. I am Electro. You can't. No! No!
Let's just tie his ass up. Some rubber. How about that? Sit your ass down.
Who the fuck else does Spidey have? Like Tarantula?
Yeah, I don't know. They killed like half the villains. So I don't know what
Fucking Big Wheel? Like he took out half the motherfucker's roster. Martin is dead now.
Yeah, who do we have left? Fuck. We're gonna bring Morbius in?
Sandman.
Sandman's in jail, but Sandman's reformed.
Rhino.
Rhino, you took him down in Miles, but I don't remember what happened to him. Did he go back to jail?
Fuck, who does he have? Yo,
Who
wait
do
a
we
second.
Hydro
El
Man.
Muerto?
You're gonna have to bring out them C-list
Fuck.
villains now.
Yeah, I got it. Like Mysterio's reformed. Okay.
I don't know who he is.
Beetle?
They can bring Molten Man in.
They could bring in the Spider.
We're talking about like villains that. Who's gonna fill these boss fights up? That's what I'm trying to do because they double dipped with Martin Lee.
Yeah, you could.
That was really only one they did.
You could do Alistair Smythe and the Spider Slayers. You could do Beetle.
I feel like if you're not putting Alistair Smythe, you're not putting him.
Alistair Smash.
If you're not putting him in the main story, then he would probably be a side villain, like a side story.
I feel like he might be in the main story working for Goblin.
Okay.
And then you have to fight both.
Yeah, they can't do Hobgoblin.
Morbius?
Yeah, Morbius would be one. Or could be one. Yeah. Morbius, Hydro Man, and Molten Man are the only ones I can really think of off the top of my head.
Kangaroo, maybe?
Yeah.
Frogman?
Which one?
Frogman. I mean, you could bring Tarantula back.
You could probably bring Kingpin back too.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Willow the Wisp. Forgot about her.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Yeah. I mean, you're forgetting the biggest one, Big Wheel.
Oh, shit! How could I?
Did you see the reference they had for him at Coney Island?
I thought that was cool.
Big wheels keep on turning. Oh God, Shathra. Oh fuck no. Well, they might.
So we have Chameleon too.
Oh
yeah, we have Chameleon. We have Carnage.
Here.
Oh yeah, we'll be fine.
Yeah, you know what I thought they were gonna do though? I thought they were gonna do Hive. when they introduce like the bee
Mhm.
person at the science lab, and it's like, oh yeah, this is our special geneticist or whatever working on bees. I'm like, are y'all gonna do Hive? Because that'd be a crazy
Hold on,
pull.
let me look up Hive.
Just a Nazi villain made of bees. They don't have to be a Nazi, but the made of bees part. Please God, never screwball again. Please keep her out of here. You could also do Shathra,
Oh, wait,
who
Nick,
is
Hive
like
from
a wasp
with the
goddess.
same Hive that was in Agents of Shield. Are you
So
talking
what?
about the same Hive that was in Agents of Shield? The nigga
Maybe.
with the tentacle face.
Probably. I mean, Hive is just like a Nazi man made of
I
bees.
think you're thinking of a different Hive. So look up Hive Marvel, and it was just a man made of tentacles.
Oh, here's one. Iguana.
Oh, what?
You could do Spot.
You
You
could
could do
do
Spot.
Spot. That's right. You could totally do Spot.
That'll make your fight super duper creative.
If they wanted to,
Probably not send
if they wanted to, they could bring in the other Scorpion, Miles of
Yeah.
Scorpion, or
You could always do a Stegron, the dinosaur man, or White Rabbit, who's the White Rabbit would be kind of funny and cute to do as like a one in passing. Boomerang, I guess, is another low tier one.
They have a Boomerang in Marvel too.
Oh, not Hive. I meant Swarm. I was thinking of Swarm.
Okay, I'm like, yes. So Hive is a very different.
Yeah,
villain.
Hive is somebody else. I meant Swarm. Swarm, Jack o' Lantern, Speed Demon, Vermin. There's a villain named Hippo. Okay.
Is Swarm a Spider-Man villain or is this a Marvel villain?
Swarm. Yes, Swarm showed up in Champions, so I think Swarm is just a.
Well, the Champions is an. I didn't realize Champions was an old Marvel team.
I didn't either.
Oh,
But yes,
you
Swarm
brought
is
them
a
back.
primarily a Spider-Man villain. Just showed up in Champions.
Okay, they do the Jackal.
No, the fuck they won't.
They can make it better. Insomniac. I trust Insomniac.
Is that how they're gonna do their superior tie-in? They're gonna have him have Ock clone a new body using Peter's I just wrote the fucking script, didn't I? He's gonna use some of Peter's excess DNA because he knows that he's Spider-Man and clone a new body so that when he dies, he can go to the new body. So that way, you can do superior without fully doing superior, and maybe it'll be better.
You should have two Peters running around.
Yeah, two Peters, a Miles, Cindy. Oh God.
If Cindy even has powers at this point, because they made an interesting
I hope
choice.
not. She's Miles' age, so I'm hoping they don't do it. Just skip it.
Did the spider that bit Miles in the game, did that spider get killed too? Or did he just like go off somewhere?
You talking about in the game or in the comics?
The game.
I think it just died.
Okay, because I was gonna say maybe they would do because Cindy is a teenager in this game.
Yeah,
So
which I'm like, that's an interesting choice.
So I'm like, okay, would they do Silk, but she's bitten by the same spider Miles was bitten by instead of the same spider Peter was bitten by?
They could. I guess if you want to give Miles his own black cat, even though he has his own black cat and it's his current girlfriend, not Voltress. God, what's her name? I'm forgetting it right now. But like his not Canary. God damn it. It's gonna bother me. But his girlfriend is Vulture's granddaughter.
Oh. Okay.
So they I don't know, but they seem to be setting him up for Haley. So I feel like kind of a
maybe they can do
pushing.
Maybe they can do Voltress in the Insomniac universe.
Yeah, they could.
Another villain.
Yeah, Starling. That's her name in the comics.
Miles doesn't have his like Mary Jane in the comics. Though. He doesn't have that like that girl, or does he?
I mean, he has a girlfriend. He has a long-term girlfriend now.
But is she?
We'll see how long that lasts.
Okay, but I'm saying like, is that partner?
But no, he doesn't have one that he's associated with.
Okay, yeah,
forever and always.
Right, he doesn't have that Topanga to his core yet.
No, Miles ain't got many hoes. He dated what? Bombshell, and Starling, and like one other girl, I think.
I missed that one team. Wasn't it like him, Bombshell, Cloak and Dagger? Was it just the four there?
That was New Ultimates.
Yeah, New Ultimates. That one
I missed that team too. I thought they were gonna do it in 616 and they didn't. I'm like, fuck. Instead we got the champions, which was fine. I am still constantly surprised. I mean, I guess it's good that they don't do this, just to be like, hey, boys and girls can be friends without like having romantic interest. But I always thought Miles and Kamala would be an interesting couple,
Well, they never did.
especially since they're only separated by a bridge, and now we got Kamala's bullshit with her being an X-Men.
Oh yeah, okay. That's who the team was for New Ultimates. That one cover is still so sick. Hold on, let me put it in there. Is there a chat for this?
There is not, I don't think.
Okay. It's the one where it's like Miles standing there in the middle with his clothes on. He has a yellow hoodie, the spider costume underneath, and then it's Cloak and Dagger standing next to him. Kitty Pride is through the wall, and then we have Jessica Drew and I think Bombshell standing next to him. It looks like very like I don't know, very teenage. It's hard as fuck. I'd get that as a poster if I could.
You probably can, or find a place to make it into one. So yeah, we gonna put this one up on the wall. On the wall?
What the fuck is this?
Whoop-de-whoop.
I think we did it.
All right. We got any other comments about the game?
No, it was dope. If I would get it if you don't have a PS5. Do you think this is a game worth getting the PS5 for if you don't have PS5?
It's worth pre-ordering a PS5 around the same time. You want to have three. This is on like the top 3 games you should get to have 3 games to start with on the PS5. This, Baldur's Gate, current Cyberpunk.
Okay, all right, I dig.
You got 2 long ass RPGs and a nice, fun, breezy superhero game.
There you go.
So it's like, it's like at the top 3 of what you should play on the PS5.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
But,
cool.
All right, I think that's a good place to close things out. Aaron, where can the people find you at, bro?
You can find me at The Real Aaron Alexander on Instagram, The Real Aaron Alexander on TikTok, but REEL. And you can find me on The Real Rejects.
Ooh. And if you're looking for me, you can find me on YouTube at Will the Greatest. From my Instagram at Will the Greatest. You can find me on TikTok at Will.the-greatest. So, with that being said, we hope you enjoyed the show, and we will touch base with y'all in the next episode. Whenever that happens. It's still